It's the hot show. Don't know how it's gonna go. It's the hot show, and I can't guess what's gonna happen next. So come on and join in. Let's do the hot show. Howdy, and welcome to the Hot Show. I'm your host, Hot the Cat. I want to thank you for watching. Anybody who's watching this ever, either on our live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Hot the Cat, or on our YouTube archive, which is pretty hard to find. So thanks for finding it. Really excited about this show tonight. I think we should just kind of bring some guests on here. Hello, Ryan and Jason. How are you doing tonight?
Yay, good.
Hello, doing well.
Jason, welcome to the show. Ryan, you've been here a lot, so I'm not going to bother,
Yeah, whatever.
Here, Jason, yeah, welcome. This is an exciting event for the Hot Show because we have a guest tonight in Jason of someone that I have never met before and don't know at all. So welcome. How's it going? What's your life like?
It's going okay. I just moved to Boston from Chicago. So we
Oh,
got a little bit of a mess situation. We're assembling our lives out of chaos.
Yeah.
That's the energy. And I'm starting a new job out here. So that's the vibe.
It's some big changes. Some big changes going on there. Wow.
How is the job?
Tolerable. Good. Occasionally exciting and fun.
Tolerable.
But mostly tolerable.
Did you move across the country just for the job?
Kinda. It was kind of like an opportunity to work for an old mentor of mine.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did do that. Yes. And it's been a hard transition. It's in academia. I am a staff member at a university, and I basically manage a maker space.
Okay.
So we have 3D printers, and that's pretty cool.
Right.
But there's a lot of bureaucracy, especially about safety and rules, and that's been taking some getting used to. And also, I went to this university, and now I'm interacting with students, and I have to be like, well, I'm not a student anymore. So there's that.
Yeah.
The existential crisis.
Yeah, no, I bet that's a big shift. And yeah, I am currently enrolled in school as a student.
They allow cats to enroll?
I was going to say.
At this university, they do allow cats.
Okay.
Very progressive.
Yeah.
We're working on it at my university. We're not quite there yet.
Not all school environments, I think, are ready to allow cats.
Yeah.
But this one does. And
Good.
I will say that just in talking to my professors occasionally, the one thing, like, they all seem to like being professors, but like dealing with the students and teaching and all that, but they all seem to hate all the parts that have to do with anything else with the school, like dealing with the school in bureaucratic ways.
Mm-hmm.
Seems awful.
And I empathize with that perspective more now than I did before.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Are your professors cats as well, or any of them cats?
No.
No representation.
I mean, not too many of them, I think, are completely open about whether or not they are cats. But none are obviously cats.
Okay.
Because before, I talked about this a little bit on the previous episode, but like before I was, as you see me now, I would hide my catness. I was still Hot the Cat, but I did not look like a cat as I do now.
Okay.
Which actually brings up an interesting point. It's kind of important business for the Hot Show here that we like to. I am a cat, and I'm very curious. What animal are you? And this can just be also tonight. Like you can change. Like this doesn't have to be for the rest of your life. What animal are you? But what animal are you right now, Dixon? I'm going to you too, Ryan.
Okay. I feel like I always like monkeys because I feel like they're really playful and explorative, and they like to climb things, and I like to climb things. But right now, I feel like a fox. I don't know why. Maybe it's the ears. I want to also have the ears.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching the new Star Wars shows, and there's this character Fennec Shand whose design is based off the Fennec fox. So I've just been really vibing with that. I really like that whole dynamic there.
That's nice.
So maybe the Fennec fox specifically.
Fennec fox. Do you think that as a Fennec fox, you would keep your name Jason, or would you go into another name also?
I mean, I feel like I'm tempted to do like a Foxy Jason, but I don't know that I would be able to do that.
Foxy Jason.
I think that works.
I don't think Jason the Fox is where my head is at with it.
Right.
Jason, who is a fox, could work.
Jason, who is a fox? I like that. Yeah, I like.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I like a comma, maybe.
Yeah. Here, let's.
Comma,
maybe we could switch your name.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Let me know if I need to
do it.
Okay. Maybe under the settings here. No.
I think if you click on that.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Jason.
Got it.
Great. Now, Ryan, what animals are you feeling tonight?
I've been dealing with just some interesting life curveballs lately, for better or for worse, and I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm depressed, but sometimes life throws you. It deals you some cards where you just want to like crawl into a hole and stay in your shell. So I think I'm a mollusk of some kind.
Wow, I thought for sure you were going to like turtle tortoise.
Yeah, same.
But mollusk, wow.
There's also an excellent Ween album called The Mollusk.
So now, I don't know that we've ever had any of our guests or friends of the show be an animal that doesn't have a face or eyes or anything. Like, this is new territory, I think.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Now, would you say that you are like Ryan the mollusk? Or are you?
No. I think I'm just. My name's Ryan, and I am a mollusk.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think it's more just.
I want to see this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how it's spelled?
Yeah, I believe so.
I forgot what they look like. I need to Google this.
I think you'll find.
Oh, it's a snail.
I think you'll find there's a resemblance.
It's a, oh, never mind. Wait.
I think it's related to snails, but it is.
Mollusca is a category of Wikipedia. But the yeah, okay. I don't know if I'd say a resemblance, but potentially an energy match with where you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Do you think that they swim? Do they swim particularly vigorously or slowly?
I don't think they swim. I think what they
Just
do
kind of flow with the water,
they,
the currents, right?
They attach to like a rock or something, and then
Yes.
open and just let things flow past, and they'll,
I need that. That's an energy I would like to try to embody. So, Ryan, I'm going to try and feed off of your mollusk vibes a little bit, not too much. So
I often let things flow past me. So, yeah. So
I'm grateful we have a mollusk in our midst.
Yeah, this is a nice collection of animals. I'm happy to have us all be here. So, as the poster showed, tonight we are really talking. We brought you here to get into what is the perfect treehouse. Like, what would be in your perfect treehouse? But before we get into that, I wrote a little song. If you're interested in hearing it.
Very much so.
Let me see. Close your eyes, picture an oak tree, rope ladder, climbing the trunk, cedar boards, make a floor, trapdoor limbs. Is this heaven? Just the perfect treehouse. Hoist the bucket, raise the flag, sunshine through the skyline, secret backdoor zip line. Is this heaven? Just the perfect treehouse. Thank you.
Very nice.
There's a lot of nuance to that. I like that.
Yeah, that one went in a way different direction than I expected, but it was a very enjoyable one to write. I had a good time.
I think that's a good transition to a segment that I want to get to. That's okay with you, Hot?
Yeah. You
so
as a way of starting into what is the perfect treehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I've collected a few select tree houses from pop culture and such, and I would love to get everyone's thoughts on them, but especially yours, Jason, just as a designer, engineer, raconteur, fox. And just get your thoughts.
Yeah,
so,
let's get into this. I'll put my glasses on. so I can really see
yeah,
engineering vision.
Oh, I can do that too.
Let's do it.
Some engineering vision going on.
Yeah, it's a skill I think we can all relate to. I like your glasses, Hot.
Thank you. I like yours.
Thank you.
So
Hey. Yeah.
So
Okay,
this is these are the Ewok tree houses.
Wow. Yeah.
legendary.
What a treehouse.
Oof, high bar.
Yeah. So there, I guess I'm interested in what you think, Jason. But like one of the things that immediately is hitting me is just like how well it's built into the environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm wondering where they got the roof material actually, because I just see leaves, and that almost looks like a hay kind of a situation, you know?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the sticks, I feel like that makes sense to me. They've basically made a frame out of sticks, but the roof, it's made of some sort of straw, and I'm wondering, is that like fur from an animal, or maybe
There are sort of
maybe it's
exotic
the
animals.
Ewok's fur?
It could be.
How about that staircase though?
Oh yeah, on the right.
Yeah,
I do.
incredible.
I really do appreciate the like wrap around the tree. Like it's an experience getting up into the treehouse.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I always thought ladders were the only way you could get into a treehouse, but it looks like a spiral staircase is an option.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think there are a few different ways. Like I think the traditional American treehouse. I think you're right that ladders are generally the way it is. But people are breaking these, and of course Ewoks.
Mm.
This was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, it's too far away.
Oh, true. That's
Uh,
right.
But it's interesting that they have developed it further than a lot of traditional American ones.
Yeah, they may be far, far away, but they're light years ahead.
Yeah,
Now,
you
I
said
guess
it.
I guess what I like as we're like looking at the perfect treehouse, I feel like there's a few things that we've identified, maybe that are kind of nice. Where's the improvement that can be made on these?
Hmm. Well, I don't see a door.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There's just I mean, I like the circular opening, but sometimes you do need to close your door, right?
Right.
Maybe the
Yeah.
Ewok across the hall or whatever, they're not being the nicest or something.
Yeah, I do feel like Ewoks live in kind of the sort of, I don't know, I guess I at least imagine them. I don't know for sure, but like I imagine them in sort of like a cuddly collectivist society.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe for them, the just circular opening is enough. But yeah, I agree that I wouldn't just want to necessarily always be open air like that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, let's.
I will also say that not particularly sturdy looking. That looked rickety.
Though the Ewoks, are they lighter than potentially we are?
Oh, totally. I would say for sure. Look, they were so small. Like
yeah.
Like down there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
So maybe it's okay. I'm not sure about that. I feel
I
like
mean-
they could still have bolstered it a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh
I
yeah.
see a ladder. I see many ladders.
So this is from Hook, I believe. Hot.
Okay.
Does this look familiar
this
to
is from
you?
Hook. So,
I've not seen the motion picture entitled Hook.
which I am so surprised by.
It's a good movie. I seen it a long time ago.
Very good movie. So one of the things about like what we're seeing right here, like, we're not seeing a lot of like the dwellings, but the significant part of this is that when you're looking at it, that thing that's kind of just going through the middle is a sort of track that I believe people would like sort of skateboard along. If my memory serves me right, um, which
Wow.
is a great like thing to connect different parts. Like real cool, especially
Yeah,
for
there's
like
like a monorail situation.
right. But branching.
So are those vines, like the vertical members, kind of, or are those supports for the track?
I think you're right. I think those are vines.
Great. So you've got modular forms of transportation. Maybe you're trying to swing that day, or maybe you just want to walk on the track or skateboard.
Or maybe you just want to go up the crisscrossing ladders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at
Yeah.
that. On the right there, there's a ladder going up on either side of that rock, which then goes up to a pretty dangerous looking platform a little further up.
I like the options that you have in this situation. You don't. There are many ways to access this. I think.
Right.
I'm not sure.
It seems that way. I think you're right.
And then the track kind of goes off into the distance up. There's kind of something imaginative about that. It makes me want to know where it goes.
Now, what is this structure like? What's its what's the context of it in the film?
I don't know if they really went into the logistics of the Lost Boys tree world. Uh, Mostly, it was just kind of like I believe that as you went up, you like that ladder that's going up on I guess both of them, and assuming that that track that's going up as well are all would go up to like upper levels, which I know that the Lost Boys would sleep in like sort of hammocky areas or like small little huts. Also, I think open air. I don't think there were many doors.
Is that just one big tree in the middle?
It looks like a big tree.
That's a big honking tree.
They got that going for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think that everyone is able to really get a tree that good.
No,
Mm-hmm.
That's a good tree, and I feel like they built it all around that tree. That was a good one.
Let's look at another treehouse here. So this one's
Whoa.
Wow, that is a house in a tree.
So this is from the 1996 film Jack, also a Robin Williams picture.
Spending a lot of time in treehouses in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's when they were all built.
Yeah. Now, Jason, have you seen Jack?
I couldn't even tell you what this plot is about.
It's sort of like a reverse Benjamin Button.
Okay.
So reverse, yeah. So Robin Williams is born, and he ages extremely rapidly. So he's in like the sixth grade around there, and he looks like a 40-year-old man.
Okay.
As we know,
Robin Williams.
Yeah, and he's Robin Williams.
Okay.
Loud, hairy knuckles, as we knew him. So he makes some friends at school, and they have this treehouse. Now, it is. I think we can agree that this is not the most structurally sound treehouse.
Yeah.
And it is. It's constructed to accommodate, a gaggle of young children, and and spoiler alert, Robin Williams and another adult enter the treehouse, and the treehouse does not hold, and it collapses.
The whole treehouse.
The whole tree. It's just, and this is, you can, even from this this shot, you can tell this is pretty high up, and it completely, everyone falls, and it's completely
Jeez.
The treehouse.
Do we have any survivors?
Yeah. Everyone. This is a children's movie, so yeah, no one dies.
Well, I feel like there are still some dreamlike qualities to this. I mean, it's sort of haphazardly constructed, but it does look kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
windows.
It is pretty cool.
The windows, and like, that's a lot of floors for a treehouse.
Is there a laundry machine? I feel like I see a laundry machine.
No, it kind of does look like a laundry machine.
Because I see there's two rectangular shapes. One has like a laundry machine looking. I don't know. I feel like they might have laundry. Maybe
it does look like it's
Yeah.
facing outward though, which
That's true.
would make it hard to put in. Though maybe if like the top was the opening,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a trap door for the layer above it.
And you don't need a
It's just
dryer.
good.
You can just
Yeah.
hang the clothes on the tree.
That's
Right.
true.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's a good data point for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we reviewed it.
Yeah, Jack, starring Robin
Would you recommend
Williams.
the film?
Yeah, I mean, it's starring Robin Williams. Fran Drescher is in there, and no one else. No one. You don't need to look up. You don't need to look up the cast.
Okay.
No one else is in it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Now we're gonna pull up. This is a good one.
Okay. Whoa.
Now this is from Adventure Time.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
A pretty now this is where Jake and Finn, I believe. I've only seen a handful of episodes. It's been a while. Yeah, Jake the dog and Finn the human. This is where they live.
That is a pretty great treehouse.
Bacon and pancakes.
I feel like we're looking at kind of a cross section scenario, but like it's
Yeah.
interesting because not all of it is cross sectioned.
Yeah, I don't believe the treehouse has this open air concept.
It's a funny shape. Like the tree has kind of been surrounded by this brown layer or green layer. Is that like leaves?
I'm assuming
Right. It's like a weeping willow, but just like a thick like.
It's like a Pac-Man ghost shape.
Yeah.
It does make me feel like the green is both leaves and like roof shingles. Like at the top there, you can kind of
you
can kind of see it. Like there's some like roof shingling kind of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's like kind of serving both purposes.
I don't know if I would play guitar or bass or whatever on the top though, because like I feel like that person is just a few steps from tumbling down. I feel like they could have put like a roof deck up there.
I have also not watched a lot of episodes, but I will say that my knowledge of that character is that they will take chances.
Okay.
Yeah. Say that's accurate.
Yeah, there's a lot of good points about what's going on here. I will say.
Definitely looks more structurally sound than the last one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 3 stories. I mean, they got like a kitchen area, living room on that second floor. The kitchen is on the bottom. I think it's the furnace I see.
Oh, the heater.
Yeah. Just
there's
an incredible pad.
Yeah, they have a lot of really nice stuff there.
A lot of amenities.
I am noticing a nice the way to get from level to level is that tree that's going in the front, like that big branch. That
Mm-hmm.
like climb up ladder style the whole way.
Yeah, you can like go inside of it too. That's like hollow.
Yeah, on
Yeah, the one on the
bottom,
left, you
yeah,
can
yeah.
climb or kind of
You just live inside of a tree inside of a tree.
treeception.
I was wondering like if like I have not seen a ton of the show. I see a bed up on the top, but I was wondering if maybe Jake the dog's bed is like in that little tree there or something,
Yeah, I don't know.
like in that branch.
Do you think they built this themselves, or do you think they got some help? Maybe they just stumbled upon it.
I
They
think it
definitely
was.
made it their own.
Okay.
If
So
they,
maybe someone else had built it or lived in it and they took it over.
hard to
They
say. Do you know?
did it.
You know, Ryan? Does anyone in the chat know?
I think it was a bit of an adventure
Okay.
time.
That's fair.
I got one more treehouse for you.
Okay.
Right. That one had so much in it, so much to take in.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Oh, is this The Simpsons?
a classic.
I feel like we're back to basics.
Right.
We went pretty out there, and now we're back.
Yeah, I feel like this is the way to kind of bring it home. This is a classic treehouse.
You know what I'm noticing?
As far as
That
I'm
the
concerned.
stairs kind of veer off to the right a little bit, and I don't really see how you get in.
Yeah. Do you like reach back and up and then like swing? That's like it's like an advanced rock climbing course.
It is. It's an overhang.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think of watching them get in.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they make it seem easy.
Mm.
Well, yeah, they're young children, and they probably don't want adults, so they can't. They probably Bart probably built it to not let Homer inside.
I definitely don't think Homer's making it up there.
Yeah, doesn't have the upper body strength.
There's like some sheets in there. It looks like bed sheets on the walls, but they're like
Yeah.
turned up a little.
Noticing
looks
that
like.
as well.
Okay. Good tree. Good tree to house ratio. I feel like the house may be a bit big on the bigger side, but
I like how it's like it's kind of covered but still kind of open out. Like it has that whole back part that's leaves, and presumably, from my knowledge of this treehouse, I believe there's another opening towards the house as well.
Yeah.
Even though it's not shown here, so like there's some nice like you can see out, but it's nice and well covered by the leaves there.
Now this is a good through line because a couple weeks ago we did a special Simpsons episode of the Hot Show where we just said screw it, we're going to talk about the Simpsons and watch the Simpsons.
Yeah, we did do that. It's true.
Hi, in line.
how'd it go?
I mean, it was great. It's
nice.
the Simpsons. So. A bird's face, you say?
I'd like you to look at it from far away.
I'm working on it. I don't quite see it, but I feel like I'll get there.
I think I had like a moment of seeing what you meant, Amy.
With like the tree, like the leaves and the tree as like the head. And it's like kind of a bird body.
I see it. If you look at like the intersection of the like the corner that's facing us is the beak. That's what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And the eyes are looking straight at you. That's the only way I could see a bird here.
It's like an afro.
Yeah, bird with an afro, that's looking at you, and then it's just kind of on a severed, like it doesn't really have a body like a bird body. It's just a head, and like I guess it's like on a. It's just it's just there. What an astute observation.
I do. One of the things I like about this treehouse is the simplicity of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like you can't get around just like this is like in many ways like sort of the quintessential like traditional treehouse. But I feel like if you're talking the perfect treehouse,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd say this is it. Like, there's
Agreed.
yeah.
It does the job. It's
Yeah,
it's
for
it's
sure.
a good.
You know,
Just a good
what's that
solid
show like
treehouse.
Pimp My Ride? I feel like this is a treehouse that's just waiting for a makeover.
Yeah.
Pimp My Treehouse.
Mm-hmm. Now, have any of you ever like been in a treehouse in real life? Have you did you have friends growing up? Because I did not. I don't think honestly I've been in a treehouse in my life.
Wow. Have you been in a treehouse, Jason, who is a fox?
Yes, I had a friend growing up who his parents allowed them to build a treehouse. So they built one, and we would go up in it sometimes. We may have slept in it once. It was fairly low to the ground. Think about, I think maybe 10, 15 feet up, supported by 2 trees, and they were always building to it. And it was cool, and it was cozy, and it was nice. But it wasn't really much. It was closer to the Simpsons treehouse than perhaps Adventure Time. So pretty simple. Yeah.
I think most non-cartoon treehouses are more similar to The Simpsons.
But a dream treehouse, I think, could go in the Ewoks direction, personally.
Oh, interesting.
I think so. Maybe with a bit more security.
Yeah.
Or privacy.
Yeah. You'd have to have like a really tall tree though.
And you know another one. I don't know if we got this in the source, but in Avatar: The Last Airbender, there's the Jet his crew live in a tree village of sorts, and I liked that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In the first season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in the anime.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't watch the live action movie. I don't know how they handled that, if they did, but
no, I have a feeling maybe our mollusk friend was thinking maybe Avatar.
They might have had tree houses in that too, actually.
Yeah, the James Cameron epic.
Yes.
I don't remember if they had tree houses in there or not.
They definitely focused much of their life around a tree.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be surprised if they didn't, but also they were very respectful of that tree. So maybe they didn't. You know what? One I thought of was the elves in Lord of the Rings. Like I feel like I don't know. I almost want to. I almost want to look up a picture of this because I think that the let me see. Because I feel like this would be similar to the Ewok treehouse, but a little more developed, a little more stable.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I feel like the elves would be. They feel like the Ewoks. I don't really know if stability is their thing.
Right.
But elves, I think they exude stability. They're old. They've been around for. I don't know if the lifespan of an Ewok is comparatively speaking, but I would venture that it's elf lives a bit longer.
I agree. I don't think there were any Ewoks at the Mordor in when Sauron forged the ring.
Now,
That
maybe
should've
I can't picture this. I'm not a Lord of the Rings
I,
expert, but I think I can only think of the. I think they're the Hobbit houses,
Oh, true. Do those
which
count?
which
I feel
I
like,
don't think they're not tree houses because
no,
they're built into the ground.
they are
Mhm.
absolutely the opposite of tree houses.
They're
We could
ground
do
houses.
we could do a whole nother episode on the Hobbit.
Yeah. What's your favorite house in the ground?
I mean, it's
Ground
obviously going to be a Hobbit house.
Mm.
I
There's
don't know,
no,
subterranean bunkers, though, don't they have their merits? I mean, like just cold, hard concrete, steel.
Oh yeah,
There's no hobbit weed there. Just
but the hobbits choose to live in those houses. These are uh, for emergency, right?
what?
I guess so. Though some people
Oh.
apparently choose to live in bunkers of their own volition. I read an article in New York Times on it once.
You know, I unfortunately am having a really hard time finding a good picture.
Yeah, I was trying to look one up too.
I didn't know there was a treehouse in the Lord of the Rings. I knew that.
It's the home of like Galadriel and all them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Oh yeah. That's an upgrade for sure. I'm looking at some good ones right here.
But that's not what I want.
If you look up LOTR treehouse. I don't know if it's a fan art or something, but they look pretty good.
Hod, you're welcome to share your screen.
Yeah, I just found a picture that I don't know if I'm quite getting it. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time trying to get this.
The one I'm looking at has sort of an orb shape to it.
Here's one that I found here.
Whoa. Yeah, I mean this is dreamlike.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And there's levels to it.
But
I see a ladder.
One of the things about this though is like it's like a tree city. This isn't just like a tree house.
Right.
But I think if you were just to isolate one house, I think it would still hold up well against the other competition.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But you're right. This is closer to the Ewoks, I feel like. They also kind of had a city situation.
It's true.
And I think that I read somewhere that Leia and Han Solo honeymooned with the Ewoks for a little bit before they went on that cruiser thing that's now a ride at Disney.
Is that right?
I don't know. Depends on which canon. I'm a newer Star Wars fan, so I'm steeping myself in the lore, but I think they might have had a prolonged time after the events of the third movie.
I mean, it was generally peaceful, I think, for a little bit.
I would like to think it was the strength of the tree houses that maybe, if they did stay, that may have encouraged them to. I mean, I would live in a tree city for a bit.
I mean, anyway, C-3PO could definitely get them to build like a more stable thing. It's like they considered him a god.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now the elves, I don't know that they would do that though. They would probably be a little more skeptical.
No, I don't think they would trust as much C-3PO. I wonder if C-3PO he knows so many languages. I wonder if he knows Elvish.
Ooh.
I think he must.
It's also a very old language.
Yeah, but he's pretty old.
Right.
I want to see
Human
C-3PO.
cyborg relations.
Oh, and an Ent. The Ents from Lord of the Rings. They were trees.
Yes.
I don't know that they lived in houses. I think they just were trees.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think they just lived amongst.
They were the houses.
Yeah, they were the houses.
I would like, if they did have a house though, I want to know what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting.
What house the houses?
This is I did not even consider this as like the idea of the perfect tree house. But what is the perfect house for a tree?
Maybe like an arboretum,
Yeah.
but maybe not.
Mm.
Nice
Maybe it
big
just.
greenhouse.
Maybe a treehouse.
Put a tree.
I used to climb trees when I was younger, and someone stopped me once. I think it was the Boston Commons, and they said, "Don't climb that tree because it's bad for the tree." And I just kind of never really thought. I never really thought about that before.
I actually don't know if this like.
I don't
There's
know about that.
obviously there are things that you can do to a tree, but I also kind of imagine that it probably feels kind of nice to the tree, like to get some
Yeah.
some pressure, like
Yeah,
where like your
like I
muscles.
wasn't not to break the branches, just to.
Yeah, if you're like holding your arm up like this for a long time, to kind of just get a little movement in there, probably kind of nice.
I think that's a
Yeah.
good counterpoint.
You don't want your branches, your arms, your branches to atrophy into one position.
I try to scrub the trees, tune them there. I take a little brush with me and just give them
That's
maybe
nice.
some shampoo.
It is nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel like we should kind of start getting into this.
Yes.
I'm gonna put this up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like so. My first question here is, what is the way that you get up into your perfect treehouse?
Good starting point, I think. How do we think about rope ladders? How do we feel about those?
I personally, they can be harder to climb than the boards into the trunk of the tree,
Mhm.
or like a more formed ladder, but you can pull them up.
That is good point.
Yeah.
Which I think, I don't want to be very militaristic about this, but I think you should always have that. Like it's such a good option to have, to like be able to go up and pull up the rope ladder. No one
Yeah.
else can come in.
I think that's an advantage to rope ladders that you couldn't have with, say, a sturdy ladder that maybe it collapses, but it wouldn't roll up.
Right. It barely takes up any space once it's up.
Now, is a fireman's pole worth considering as maybe a descent, maybe not a way up, but like a way down?
Yeah, I think it would be.
You couldn't pull it up, but
Absolutely.
you would offer a speedy way of getting out.
The only counterpoint that I have to the fireman pole is the zip line as a way of doing that.
Because I think the traditional board, 2x4 nailed to the trunk, like anyone has access 24/7. So you always have to be sort of. That's an anxious.
That's why Bart
climb
was
up.
Like you had to,
Yeah,
Not
but
to
like
say
imagine going up and you have to worry about someone else being in there.
Well, okay, so this is a good point. Don't tree houses sometimes have like the way you get in is not a conventional door, but a sort of like almost like a sewer entrance, or like a trap door.
Trap door, yeah. Which actually the treehouse that I am most familiar with personally in my life was my cousins had a treehouse, and it had a trap door. Like that's what I imagined. Like they had a sturdy ladder. Like it was pretty high up too.
Oh wow.
But at least in my memory, I haven't been there since I was a kid. But they had a trap door with a lock on it.
Oh wow.
You wanted, but it was generally open air. It was kind of more like a platform with short walls than like
I think that counts.
A covered thing like The Simpsons.
Did you ever sleep there?
I don't think so. I don't remember sleeping there.
How high up was it?
I mean, memory tends to distort a little bit.
Was it like higher than the house?
In my memory, yes.
So 30 feet. I feel like 3 stories is what I'm imagining.
It's pretty high.
Yeah, because they had a 2-story house.
So does a dream treehouse need to be tall?
I mean,
For
not
you?
necessarily, but I personally like it
Yeah.
because I like the view.
Yeah. I
I
think you're
want-
gonna have to feel one with the tree a little bit. What do you think, Ryan?
I want multiple stories.
Okay, like
Oh.
I've
the
always
Jaguar.
wanted a multi-story.
I know
treehouse.
this.
Just adding that dimension.
Oh yeah, this is a pretty.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, I thought of it when I started talking about the zip line idea.
Yeah.
And
Talk me. What's going on here? Who is this from a movie?
Home Alone.
Oh, the
Mhm.
classic.
Yeah,
I haven't
Keep the
even
change, you
seen-
filthy animal.
and he goes on it.
Can it be accessible? It should be.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point, Amy. That we should make sure that there's some accessibility.
Let's say someone's in a wheelchair. I think there could be a way to hoist someone up, maybe in a safe manner.
I agree. I don't know if this treehouse necessarily adds very much, but I felt like it was an important one to bring up.
Absolutely.
I think it might be the best
Very rustic,
Yeah,
and
hut
I like the there's that little like balcony.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the balcony
Like
is
that's
very
huge.
nice.
It's not very high up though, right?
No, it isn't.
Is that the ground you can see?
I mean, it's
No,
high
that's it's as high as it's. I remember it's at the second story because they're yeah, they're on like the top floor of the house, and then they zip line. He zip lines over.
right.
What's on the right side? Is that there's like a black tarp or something that covers some sort of support?
I don't know if that's anything.
Top right
Well, I
corner?
think it's a
I don't know.
flag, maybe
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
in the wind.
This looks like an Airbnb,
Yeah.
which I think exists. I think there are Airbnb tree houses.
Absolutely. I will say that for a little while I worked someplace where people would watch TV, and I would see this show called Treehouse Masters, which is one of those silly cable shows that was like on like History Channel or something, and it didn't make any sense that it would be, or maybe Discovery Channel. It was kind of like, I don't know, this is kind of getting out of like the realm of what makes sense on this show or this network. But some of those were like nicer than any house that I've lived in.
Like AC, like air conditioning kind of situation?
No, maybe there was air conditioning, but it was like, like where there'd be like a level and then like some steps going up to another one that would like, and like
Whoa.
a little loft area for the bed, and like
And Ryan said that's important to him, right?
to have the separate levels.
Yeah, just having a multi-level treehouse. Just if there are multiple parties present, someone wants to just have a separation. Just if two people want to have a private conversation or play a game of cards on their own, and just adds that dimension.
Yeah. Now, when you're imagining that, are you imagining like just a separate area, or are you imagining like another way to like a whole nother layer, like
Another level.
like Jack, where there's
Yeah.
like distinct layers on top of one another,
Oh yeah, like Jack.
but more well done.
Yeah, more stable. I don't want it to collapse.
That's reasonable.
I want it. If Robin Williams were to show up, I would want it to be able to support him.
Absolutely. I feel like one of the things that is really missing out of many of the tree houses that we've looked at is sturdiness. The elves got it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best maybe, but I think we have to make sure that Robin Williams could show up.
Yeah, it's a good litmus test of your treehouse.
Like,
So like, and you need to have
you
room for
got
entertaining.
right.
See, I imagine the treehouse where the kids sent it, like the treehouse of horror, like you're telling a story, and so you need like a place for like a beanbag or something where people can sit down and like chill. Like I feel like that's the primary goal for me in my dream house. It's the chilling. It needs to be like a place where I can go to escape from the world a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Can a treehouse have a fireplace in it?
Ooh.
That would take some.
Is that a bad idea?
I mean, it is in a tree.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah. Oh, we already covered hook one.
Yeah.
Amy
we talked a little bit.
Came in late.
Yeah. And thanks for bringing it up though, because I do think it is a pretty good one. Maybe
and the Ewok treehouse we talked about before.
A little bit less structural for the hook one than I think maybe we're tending towards ourselves.
Yeah, and you can't have an imaginary supports. You got to have real ones. I think the fireplace would be nice, but probably not very practical.
So I was thinking about your just your expertise at what you do. You know, you help out all these entrepreneurs and inventors with develop their products, and you often give advice on just these products and these creations. So I wanted to get your thoughts on some inventions and just how you could improve on them.
Sure.
And just your thoughts on these things from a design point of view, and just to get your thoughts. So we're going to start basic.
I'm honored. All right. Is this a coffee machine?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of small. I think it could be bigger. I like coffee a lot. So.
Yeah, the image could be bigger for sure.
All right, but it looks like we load water in the top and coffee, I assume, and then you can make it. I mean, it looks functional. It looks like something I would buy. I like the shapes of the handle. It's an inviting handle. I'm guessing it's got one of those flippy handles. You press down and the top flips.
Ergonomic.
You can see the level of water that you're loading in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's just kind of sitting in a vacuum of space, though, and that is a detraction from it.
It's kind of unsettling.
My dream treehouse has a coffee maker.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I think, Jason, your dream treehouse is a pour-over station with a fellow kettle and scale.
Yeah, you're borrowing from my personal setup here, which is fair. Yeah, but I do think there's something romantic about the drip coffee machine. It's a bit of a slower and almost more mundane way of living, and I feel like treehouse is a return to basics in a way. So maybe the fellow kettle doesn't belong in the treehouse. I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah, invention-wise, I feel like, I almost feel like I've seen one before. I feel this is great. Good invention.
Yeah.
You seem pretty satisfied with the way that
very little to add.
I mean, it makes coffee.
Yeah.
Let's.
So while you're bringing up another one, I feel like this point keeps coming back up, which is electricity. Seems like it might be an important factor, like some way to or some way to heat otherwise. But being in a tree, I'm really not sure that fire is the best option.
Yeah,
because you really don't want to burn down the tree that you're in.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we'll have to think about that.
Number 2.
How would you improve on the traffic light?
Well, one problem here is you can only take a right or left, but you can't. I feel like you kind of, I don't know. You know how would be nice if you're waiting in a traffic light and it would tell you how much longer you have to wait.
Yeah, because if you're a pedestrian, but not if you're a driver.
No, and sometimes I've noticed since moving to the Boston area that because the streets here are they're all kind of, they're a little less grid-like than Chicago, and you can find yourself waiting at a traffic light for a good amount of time. So, and also maybe, being able to somehow contribute to the feedback. Like maybe you're waiting at a traffic light, you notice you're the only one. Could you say, hello, traffic light? Could you change and, have a conversation with it? I think that would be nice.
What do we think about sounds? Like when on a red light, as it's changing from yellow to red, just
Yeah, I think it should change the sound depending on the time of day. Like nighttime would be like a tasteful, but like morning, it needs to wake you up. So yeah,
I think this is an interesting idea because what is driving missing? Like the experience of driving in traffic missing, but something just going every now and then.
I agree.
Yeah. Now, to jump back a few episodes, I feel like The Simpsons did cover how the traffic light could be improved.
Oh.
Where at one point, the smartest people in town switched to only having red and yellow lights, completely getting rid of the green because the yellow everyone went through anyway. So it tried to keep it as efficient as possible.
I have a new idea, guys.
Okay.
I think this image is given because I'm looking at a static image. What if it was just red lights?
Just red lights.
So everyone was just extremely conscious.
There's actually a light near me that's a blinking red, if you've ever seen one of them.
Yeah.
But there's a blinking red one way, but a blinking yellow the other way. And observing the interactions, and I have to cross this light. So, I think there's a lot you could do with just red. You can have blinking red. You can have just red. You can have different shades of red, but just red. That's all you get. That's all you get. And I think you have to build a society from there.
Everyone needs to be more cautious.
What about the absence of red? So red, you're talking about the blinking red, and then you're also talking about just, every now and then, one just turns off. And it just means it's fine.
And does it just become one red light? Is it just a bigger circle? Or do you maybe just keep the 3? Because why not?
Oh, yeah. It's an interesting word. Red in different places.
Yeah. There's that famous Mitch Hedberg bit about bananas being the opposite of a traffic light, where green means stop, yellow means go, and red is where did you get that banana?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot. I think we've come up with a lot of good ideas here that could improve the traffic light. So.
Yeah.
That is, I will say, this particular image is an odd image in that you really only can one way or the other. Very strange.
Maybe it's a roundabout.
Maybe. Okay.
Good invention.
Roundabout, you only go one way.
True.
Yeah.
It's a roundabout that leads to a treehouse.
So here's a next invention.
Ooh.
How would you improve on the book?
Oh man. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a book.
It is. Well, I don't know what the book is. That's one complaint I have already. Although I think that is actually fairly standard sometimes when you take the cover off of the book, right? Sometimes you just have this. But, you know, you can look to the side and you can see what the book is. So there's that. I don't know. There's not a lot we got here. Do you think this is like a nonfiction or fiction based on the design?
I think that's Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not really inviting me to read it. If anything, this seems like the type of book that just stays in a bookshelf, perhaps in one's treehouse.
I do. One thing that does come to mind. I personally kind of like the blank book a little bit because it adds an air of mystery. If in a treehouse you found a book that was just like a red book, I think it has like this air of like, oh, what's in that book? Like, what's going on there? Like, there's got to be something interesting in there. Especially
I like that in movies when they stash weapons in books. This looks to me like that in the book.
Yes, it does.
I like that, though. I would personally, I don't particularly want to stash a weapon in there, but stashing other things could be nice.
Okay, maybe like a little trumpet.
Yeah, there would have to be a fairly small trumpet.
Maybe a big book.
Maybe a flute.
Recorder. Or
I think we should start. Like this book isn't a book. You know what I mean? It's a stash book. But it's big. It's like you would
big.
Yeah, a big book.
My scale was all.
And then when you're looking at it, you would think, wow, that's a big book, and you wouldn't expect it to have something hidden in it because it's so big.
The only thing about that though is I feel like stash books are. You're kind of trying to hide something there.
Oh, true.
And you have a book that is, this big. Everyone is going to open that book.
Yeah.
Or they'll be too intimidated.
Maybe it's really hard to open.
Or if it's something that you want people to find, like you open it and like a little coiled up spring snake jumps out at them. Like it's a trick. It's a little fun thing.
Maybe maybe there's a decoy. It's such a big book that it's a stash book, but there's a decoy stash. That there's something like
a box of chocolates.
Yeah, like a box of chocolates.
On page 10, but then page 50 is where the real treasure is.
Right. They see what's stashed in page 10, like, oh, cool stash book. And then they close it, and then
advent calendar kind of a thing.
They haven't found the real stash.
No, and you know what? Maybe it could add that element. If you guys ever do the Goosebumps, where you have to create your own story, and you could have it so that you end up at a stash, depending on which story you take.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't cheat and go to whatever one. You have to follow path. So,
right.
Okay. I feel like we contributed to this invention.
Yeah, we
And I do want a giant stash book in my dream.
Yeah.
Or at least some books. I want some books.
I'd like some books, and I would like a mysterious red book. I think that would be really nice.
Yeah.
I will say that to help us out on this next one, I think maybe let's bring in. We got another friend joining us.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah.
Nope, we both did it.
Hello.
Hello, Garbanzo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You got a lot of books too.
Yeah, you do have a lot of books, Garbanzo.
Well, those are records, but I do have a lot of books.
Look at that.
Garbanzo, how are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little tired, but I'm good. How are you folks?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, happy to be here.
Talking our dream treehouses.
Okay.
But we're in the invention.
Yeah,
I would like one where you open the tree up and it's a staircase that goes down.
See, another spiral staircase fan. Maybe
Yeah,
Garbanzo
underground
would be a
tree.
spiral staircase or just a what kind of staircase?
Oh, it'd have to be a spiral.
There it is.
That's
Did I just hear you that you're talking about opening like
yeah, like there's a tree, but it's almost like a fake tree, and you open the like part of the tree up
Like the
and go
Adventure Time
downstairs.
a little
right,
bit.
you're talking about going down from
Yes.
the trunk of the tree at level. This goes into a whole nother. I didn't even consider this.
Subterranean. We
Yeah,
hadn't considered that. We were only talking about vertical ascension.
Yeah,
It could go either way, but I
Mhm.
feel like it would be very like in a flood that would suck probably, but
Yeah.
for all
Right.
other purposes, going into the earth would be nice.
Wow.
Yeah, something structurally playing with the roots
Yeah,
of the tree.
yeah.
that'd be fun. Have that as like a chandelier at the top. Look at the roots.
Yeah. So I think we need to know how can we improve on the wheel?
Yeah, just as sort of as design,
Hmm.
like we're kind of thinking about design to help us kind of get towards the perfect treehouse. We're kind of working on how can we design these things better.
Well, the first thing comes to mind for me is the pirate ship. You know how you steal on a wheel? I think you could steer. Maybe the treehouse has some input that you have to turn. Maybe it opens a door.
You know, uh,
That'd be very cool.
I think opening a door, or if you could get the whole treehouse, so you could turn it around the trunk.
Wow.
A lot of engineering going into that, but
Yeah.
real big payoff.
Really
I
big.
think a series of pulley systems to have like an elevator that brings you up to the
We talked about
treehouse.
accessibility. Someone in chat had mentioned that would definitely be a more accessible entrance, whether you're going up or down. You could even make the whole treehouse look kind of like a wheel, perhaps. How could you
Ooh.
improve this? I mean, you've got your bearing, you've got your some sort of metal rimmed. I think the construction quality looks superb, I will say.
Yeah.
If you could have a water wheel outside somehow to generate electricity in your treehouse, you can.
Could the treehouse
Yes.
be on wheels? No. It's
I guess if the tree is potted,
the tree is stationary,
Ooh,
but
yeah.
the treehouse is not.
Right. So
This is turning into a pirate ship.
with a tree planted in it.
Yeah.
bells moving fast.
Where the trees are pirates.
Yeah, I feel like you're starting to get maybe into a little bit of a catch-22 there, where
Yeah.
like you're putting a house on a tree, which also is on wheels that the tree itself is in.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Okay, I'm glad that we can conceptualize it though. I mean, I definitely didn't flesh it out very much in my head, so I'm glad.
Now, what's wrong with these wheels that they're leaning against this structure and not being put to use? It's a real
It
question.
kind of looks like a wheel photo shoot to me. Like they were
Yeah.
having a good hair day, and they decided to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're posing for GQ.
I thought
That's
it was
what
like
I've seen.
wheel timeout, and they were told to just stand at the wall.
Oh, and the lighting, the shadows.
lean there and think about what you've done.
They really had a hard think.
Yeah, my sense is also like, maybe these were. I guess they look maybe a little older than they were just made. So
Yeah.
they still look kind of fresh, but like maybe like there's some cleaning going on the wagon, and you're just setting them off to the side while you're working on the rest of the thing. Like
There's also it's 2 is a conspicuous number because you can't really build anything with 2 wheels, unless it's like a cart. I guess a cart just has 1 wheel. Well, like you can't. I mean, a bicycle has 2 wheels, but a car, like I feel like this type of structure that you would design this wheel for would have more than 2.
Right.
So I wonder where their friends are.
I wonder if there are any bicycles made with wheels like this.
It'd be a bad ride.
You think?
It looks like they have a metal rim. I would. I don't know if you get traction.
I think it would
Right.
depend on your terrain that you were riding.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I think this would be good for like out in the field, in a way that a road bike would not be.
Mm-hmm.
You can go right through the
Yes.
cornfield.
Yes. All right. Let's.
Pretty good invention. Pretty good.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yes, thank you, Amy.
Amy, that's funny.
All right, let's see what we got this time.
So, how do you improve on the frog?
This isn't Kermit the Frog, so immediately I do wonder if maybe it'd be better or worse if it was Kermit the Frog. Is Kermit
I
based
mean,
on a real
Kermit
frog?
would be an improvement. Well, I don't know about that. What if that frog can really belt one out with a banjo?
I mean, this frog looks pretty happy. And Kermit was all. I mean, Kermit had his happy moments, but like,
he was a little
always seemed pretty like frazzled. And
he was
stressed.
pretty high anxiety.
Yeah,
he was,
or lovesick. From Miss Piggy.
I will say, I don't think that this frog here is trying to run like a major network TV show. Like,
right.
You don't know that.
Right. Like being the showrunner.
You're right, Garbanzo. We do not know. But
yeah, don't want to assume.
The level of stress that this frog seems to have is not the level of stress of running a major network TV show.
Amy, would you have preferred a Kermit picture? I wonder.
Oh no.
I don't know that I would.
You hate frogs now, Amy? After that?
Or do you love them?
The last thing you see before fading into the anesthesia is a frog. Oh, yeah. This does seem like a calendar stock. What month would it be, do you think?
It'd be a summertime one.
Yeah.
May or June.
Maybe he's really happy that his hands are yellow.
The yellowness.
No, don't be ridiculous.
I wanted to see kind of like a tongue. Well, you know how frogs have those epic tongues? It was cool. Okay, good. That's good. Kermit is chaotic. Wow. What is one thing I like about the eyes is they're kind of, they face a little bit different, but maybe how like an owl's head can rotate around. Maybe frogs could do that. It'd be a little terrifying, but I feel like functionally for them, they would be able to see more.
Though, do you think like their heads going around, or do you think like chameleon where they can move their eyes?
Can frogs not do that? Are they stuck in?
Not to the same extent that chameleons, because chameleons like it's like a cone sort of thing that their eyes are.
That could be an improvement. What do you think, Ryan?
I'm just thinking about the eyes. It just with how much they protrude. Like there's just, I think they're outdoors. There's all this debris. Like, are the eyes just not as sensitive as our eyes? Just like, what if just seems like there'd be little bits of crud that would get into their eyes all the time. I feel like
what,
like dandelion spores and stuff.
Yeah.
I think
a windshield.
I think
windshield wipers on the eyes. That's an improvement.
That's an improvement.
Yeah.
You don't need
that. I think we could just Photoshop that one in pretty easily.
Definite design flaw.
Not to take the wind out of the sails of this windshield wiper idea, but I do think that their eyes, unlike our eyes, have more protective covering. Like they have multiple eyelids. Like I think that frogs have an eyelid that might be transparent, but I might be just kind of talking out of my ass.
which could be improved upon by windshield wipers.
How big would that frog have to be for you to run in the other direction if you saw it in nature? Like the size of a cocker spaniel
Yeah.
or
I thought house cat.
a house cat sized frog? That would be pretty terrifying. I wonder what
Is
the
the
biggest
frog
frog
still
is.
this happy to see me? Because I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I now need to find the biggest frog in the world.
Mm.
I think the hands. If the hands are really that big, and it's a pretty big frog, I would be a little, yeah.
Thank you, Amy.
I'd be a little suspicious.
The
If it had a
Goliath.
saddle on it, though, like a saddle, and someone was like, "Get up here, we're about to flee on this," or like maybe go on a nice escape.
That would be. That
Holy
is quite a way to get into a treehouse.
Like
is,
it jumps.
or like because they have like sticky fingers. Like
That's right.
they
Okay,
can.
so maybe that's the way in, and that's how you prevent people from getting in that you don't want to get in. Is they don't have their
Right.
frog.
Also,
Your frog only
Right.
takes people who you like up there.
Right.
and I feel like this also gets into some of the accessibility.
That's
You know, because you can just kind of like you can get someone on a frog's back if the frog is big enough.
Kind of another way maybe is the house, like is inhabited by the frog, and it basically eats you with the tongue, and then it spits you out into the house. Is kind of another angle I'm thinking.
If you look up the Goliath frog,
how big are we talking?
it's like the size of a house cat.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's huge.
That's a frog right there. Wow.
Are you getting it?
I don't know that I would run from it.
Mhm.
I guess I mean frogs can be poisonous, so I would run from ones that were very brightly
It's the
colored.
tiny ones I think you got to be worried about.
Yeah, a little. Some of them have the nice poison though. People lick them intentionally.
That's true. There's a Hamilton's pharmacopoeia.
Yeah,
there.
that is a gigantic frog.
Wow.
Not quite saddle ready though.
No. Man,
Unless you could put another frog riding this frog, that would be cool.
look at those legs though. Like, go back to the one where like, yeah, that one's fine. That one's good too.
They're muscular.
Yeah, those are muscular legs. Those are solid.
I wonder how high they could jump.
They could probably jump pretty high.
I know that I learned that like big cats can jump like really high too.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Like jungle cats and savannah cats and stuff.
I don't have much of a vertical leap.
Why?
Any of you folks jump real high?
Not a jumper.
I
like the frog with the
I am a
cords.
cat.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't know how raccoons jump if they need to, but
Garbanzo is generally a raccoon.
Okay.
For a little bit of context, Jason, who is a fox.
Yeah, I decided
I'm a
today I'm
raccoon
gonna be a
most of the
fox.
time.
Raccoon most of the time, is that what you said to them?
Yeah.
Now, one final thing to discuss.
Right. I might go get my laundry after that.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta fold mine.
Oh, what are we improving on here, Ryan?
How can you improve on the outhouse?
It's not very accessible for frogs.
No.
Like bullfrogs, like what are they doing here? The Goliath frog would have to find another solution.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this particular outhouse, I don't feel very invited, but I will say there's a decoration on the front, which is a nice touch.
Hey, I think it's
They often have the crescent moon
it's a hole
for aeration.
for aeration.
And
And also,
light.
why?
You get a
there's
little bit of light in there.
for moonlight.
Pooping in the dark is dangerous. You gotta
That's
clean
true.
yourself up,
Yeah,
There's also like a slight tape, like the roof is angled a little bit. Is there like maybe for rain, so it doesn't like you don't get rained on while you're pooping?
yeah, I think so. And like, yeah, if there's I think it's angled for the rain.
I've heard of some outhouses that have a rope attached to it from connecting to the house like the main house from the outhouse, so that if in the middle of the night to find your way there.
Or
Yeah, they
maybe
did that
using
in
these
Hateful
little,
Eight,
what if
in
you
the
fall into
blizzard.
the hole? You know?
to
Right.
find their way to the outhouse.
Yeah. That wasn't it.
Again, I don't know why my mind keeps going here, but you can have it go downstairs and have it be an elegant bathroom.
I was thinking that, and also raises the question
Hot
to me:
tub,
how do you
sauna.
You could have a
poop in
common bathroom and an executive bathroom.
Yeah.
tree? Ooh.
What was that you said, Jason?
How do you poop in a treehouse? Is
Yeah.
there?
This came to my mind as well. Are you going back down to go to the outhouse, or do you
I don't
have a
think so.
situation set up there?
I imagine a trebuchet that you just.
Mm.
Not my
Someone,
problem.
this is someone else's problem.
You dig a very large hole and aim over the side.
Mm.
Also, with this outhouse, I feel like if you look beyond it, people have built better ones. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
not the
those-
best outhouse.
I could be wrong. Those could be sheds, and they have forgone the outhouse and they have used that structure for something else. But
Yeah, location maybe not the most ideal, but I guess we don't know what's in front of it and to the sides.
Mhm.
I love the idea of the subterranean outhouse, and maybe the trebuchet was a bit aggressive. Maybe there's a way to compost
I-
your.
I was thinking, can you use your feces to fertilize the tree that you have your house in?
Mhm.
Mm.
Or other plants that you have in the tree.
Yeah. No, I
Depends what
don't
you're
know how
eating.
much I would want to just have my shit in the treehouse with me.
Have they done
You
studies comparing like manure to like human poop, like how much like the like what makes the best fertilizer?
Um, I
Poop
yeah,
does
I'm
not.
sure they have. I don't know completely. I will say that you have to have a certain uh, diet, I think, in order for it to be immediately useful.
So you can't just be eating Arby's and then like put your feces in your garden.
I think
Yeah.
like vegan poop would be the way to go.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
feel like if I'm in a treehouse, I'm probably eating vegan-ish. Unless I got like canned chili up there or something.
Okay,
I mean, there are a
This
lot of
is-
squirrels to hunt and
That's
things
true.
like that.
that brings up an interesting point to me. Are you living in this treehouse, or is this like a secondary, like place to go?
I think it would be like my primary place, but I would also have some way to go to the city if I need to. Maybe
Well, if it doesn't have a bathroom, then I'm not gonna live there.
Right. But
think-
if it has a trebuchet,
Then that's opening up a lot of possibilities. So
Mhm.
I think it's primary. I think it's a stretch. I think it's a challenge, and that's why my dream treehouse is where I sleep. Because it would push me to make a better treehouse. Yeah, sometimes you need to have some canned chili up in your treehouse. Uh-oh.
there is a slight delay from us saying things to other people experiencing them.
Hey, Hot, do you have a lighter that you can pass me?
I don't have one nearby. So,
It's too bad.
Here, take this
garbanzo?
one.
Oh yeah, can you yeah.
There we go.
Oh, thanks, man. Got it.
No worries.
Ah, you through that transition.
That
Change
was smooth.
impressive.
Do you do you need one, Jason? Or
I
okay.
think so. 1 second. Yes, I need one. I can't find mine anywhere, actually.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, here it is. Wow.
Wow.
What a great transfer. I can also, thank you. And hot
Yeah,
tea,
man. Anytime.
Let me know.
Yeah, I got plenty
You
here,
should
so don't worry
really
about it.
Trying to pursue this kind of technology that we've developed here.
In the treehouse.
Yeah.
You know, one of the inventions I made for a client was a lighter. Remember this, Ryan? The lighter walk. So you basically
Yeah.
have, like, you know how you have your keychains that come back to you, but this one was a lighter returner. They paid me to make it. You just kind of, shoop, it comes back. I'm not sure. Maybe you'd want that in your treehouse so it doesn't fall off the tree house. I also think having the ability, like in Harry Potter, when you see he says Axio, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, you can just summon it. That would be helpful as well.
Summon the lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you always have stoners pocketing lighters.
Yes, but then you have the problem of, like, you have the Thor hammer issue of when it comes to you, it's knocking over things and such.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
I wonder how many countless people have died because of his hammer. Because they were in the way, minding their own.
All right, well, I'm going to get my laundry and then return. So I'll be back.
We won't talk about you at all.
Enjoy.
Please don't. I would appreciate that no comparisons are made between me and anyone. I'll be back.
How have you been, Garbanzo?
What?
How have you been, Garbanzo?
Very busy. Very, very busy. Hard for a raccoon going to school and working full time.
Yeah. Between that and climbing through dumpsters.
Yeah. Scrounging around, just causing shenanigans to happen.
Well, this brings up.
It's gonna be okay.
This kind of reminds me. I have a silly animal story where I went to a forest preserve near me not too long ago, and I was just sitting on the banks of the Chicago River, just kind of hanging out, kind of meditating, kind of just watching the river go by. And at one point, I heard a noise next to me, and an opossum was walking up. Walked it within about like a yard of me, and I had to say something. Like I had to be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like we're like coming like,
"Hey, like, get out of here!"
Yeah, I had to make some noise. Like I like it was like snapping at it and stuff, and it was not phased at all. And then eventually, like I kind of like made enough noise, I guess, that it just kind of like looked at me for a little bit, and then walked in a different direction. And not afraid of me at all. It got so close to me, though. I was so surprised.
Was this during the day?
Yeah, it was during the day.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. But it didn't seem like rabid or anything, because that's like an issue, like where like animals are being rabid or something, like coming out. Ones that are usually come out at night come out during the day and approach people and stuff. It didn't really seem like that. It just seemed like it was like chill. Like it just didn't seem to care. I'm gonna. We have another friend joining us.
Incoming guest.
Incoming soup.
Hello.
Hello, friends.
Hey, Amy.
Amy has a soup.
Amy's got some soup.
This is a very,
Amy's
very
got a soup.
I made Tom Kha soup today.
Wow.
And it always
Like it's very unusual for you.
With the coconut milk.
Yeah. Well, Tom Kha is different than Tom Yum, which is what I make more often. But that's a lovely possum story.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed that. Also, I almost came on when you guys were talking about poop because I was like, I was gonna jump on and be like,
I was thinking about you. Amy's loving this.
Who draws everyone in?
well, I had so many thoughts about the process of getting out of a treehouse to use the bathroom and like how, because you know when you're camping and you have to go to the bathroom, it's like, oh, am I gonna make it? And if you do, you do, and if you like don't or you almost don't, it's like the worst feeling at like whatever hour it is, especially if you've drank a lot of whiskey. I don't know if that's
Yeah, I've been in some weird places like that camping.
yeah. I'm gonna see if this soup is any good. Are we ready?
Oh, let us know.
This is exciting.
It's good. I added way too many red chili flakes, though. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's the hot show.
It's the hot show. I don't know.
Zero G.
Oh my god. Oh wow, that's fucking hot.
Yeah, we haven't had a spice show. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah, we haven't done that.
Hot the cat. Hot one.
Not the spice.
I saw a meme today that was Maria Abramovich. Abramovich with the guy who does hot ones, and I saw that and I snorted. It's rare when I see a meme that makes me laugh so hard that I just immediately snort.
Who is that?
So she is an artist. She's a performance artist, and she's famous for this like documented work of hers where she sat silently like across the table from approaching.
Oh, yes.
So one of the things that's like so moving about that piece is that she had a lover that she hadn't talked to in years. And he showed up and sat across the table, and she just like slowly starts to like smile and cry, and you see all these emotions go over like her face, but like without words. And it like, I don't know, it just escalates the visual art of it.
There's a documentary now that parodies her work, and it's great. If any of you are familiar with that program,
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, all y'all would really like documentary now. It's Seth Meyers and Bill Hader and Fred Armisen, and sometimes John Mulaney make mini documentaries that like are often parodying other things. So there's one like making like fun of the Eagles. There's one that's a parody of Stop Making Sense, the Talking Heads documentary.
That sounds cute.
It's very, very good.
I'm going to check that out. I need a pen and paper to write down. Actually, what I normally do when we're on this show is I just open a million tabs. You said documentary now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's great.
I don't think that you guys mentioned this, but what is the lighting like inside of the treehouse?
Well, it did come up a little bit because I like. Do you have electricity in this treehouse?
Right. Because you could have tree houses that are quite bougie. You know, you have kind of a glamping situation, or you can do one that's a little more rustic, a little more old school.
Hello,
Jason. This is Amy from the chat.
Hello, Amy from the chat.
Wow, I want to be introduced like that all the time.
Amy from the chat.
I'm just Amy from the chat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the worst place to be from.
Amy from the chat.
Amy, what animal are you feeling like from the chat?
Ooh, today I feel like a pigeon.
Ooh.
I brought you guys a gift from the laundry. It's a ball of wind.
Oh, look at
That
that.
looks like a pigeon.
Oh, we can use that in our.
We can insulate our treehouse with it. Yeah.
And it's super flammable, which will be helpful.
Well, that's what you want in insulation.
Yeah, I was thinking about lighting a little bit because you're right. Whether or not there's electricity totally changes that.
Yeah.
I would have a solar powered setup, I think, if I were living in this treehouse.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, at least get a light. Maybe like a little electric stove or something. Like a small little hot plate sort of
I,
situation.
I think the bougie treehouse comes with like these kind of like Edison bulbs.
Mm.
Oh.
I think it helps add to the cute romantic aesthetic of a treehouse.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the string lights. Like that.
So, Amy, is your treehouse like a getaway kind of a treehouse? Do you think?
I think so.
Mhm.
But like if not, is everybody having different tree houses, or are we just including one together?
I think a little bit of both. That's been my feeling from what people have said.
I think, like for me, a tree house would be like a place to, yeah, like I guess get away, but also like gather with friends, and like it be all inclusive, or like all like anybody is welcome there, unless you're an ass hat. But
No ass hats.
yeah. And I feel like you were game planning a lot of like how to keep bad people away from your treehouse, and I think I'll just put a sign at the bottom that says, "Please don't be a dick."
Yeah.
I think I kind of actually really like the no ass hats.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, no ass hats.
What if somebody's actually wearing an ass hat, but they're really nice?
Then they'll maybe need to remove it before coming forward.
Ass hyphen hat is okay, but not a one-word ass hat.
I think that if you just put no ass hats and you can put like a little like hat hook.
Hats that are asses, okay.
Well, no. If you put it like a
Also,
little coat hook or something that you could hang your ass
You
hat.
could hang your
Yeah.
ass hat.
You
Yeah.
can hang
Leave
your
your
hat
ass
here,
out.
but please don't be an ass hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't bring the ass hat into.
No.
The
I also really like the word ass clown.
that sounds like somebody who's really never mind.
I feel like it's a clown who lives in the ass.
Really into eating.
Hey, it's 2022. Should be talking about eating ass.
Yeah. They talked about it on the last episode of Hot Ones.
Really?
Well, somebody asked Kevin Hart if he eats ass, and then he ate the chicken wing, and then it was like very obvious that he does, and he was like, "I have a wife, okay," and then like I don't know, it was
That's not a yes though. That's
it was definitely a yes.
She
Okay.
might
It's
be pregnant
the
for it, but
opposite
he's
of
resistant.
DJ Khaled, who famously does not eat
He won't
anything.
even go down on his wife.
Yeah, he doesn't eat
I think
anything.
I'd rather be married to
So, and also, pardon the expression, but he went on Hot Ones and he bitched out on the second win.
Really?
Yeah,
I would
and
also-
he was and this is one of the first episodes of Hot Ones, like the first like 10, I want to say, and Sean Evans, the host, was visibly annoyed because you could tell DJ Khaled was being a diva and just in typical fashion was like, oh, I like this is king shit. I'm a king, and just because I'm not eating any more wings doesn't mean I'm quitting. It doesn't mean I'm giving up. And Sean was like, no, it does. You're quitting.
Yeah. I don't think DJ Khaled would be invited to my treehouse personally.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
That's probably for the
He's
best.
the worst.
You know what? He makes some catchy music, but
No, he doesn't though.
You would know because all of his songs start with DJ Khaled.
That's
We're
annoying.
the best.
And the air horns. Why?
No air horns
No
other
air
than
horns in my
emergency
treehouse.
in my treehouse.
Have you thought about just
No.
throwing your name into all your songs? Like this is not the cat singing this.
I heard somewhere that Jason Derulo did that to get around the record companies. I don't know if that's
kinda
true.
smart.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about Khaled though. I think he just did that to do it.
Do you
But I
feel
think-
like that you know that fact because your name is Jason?
No, but people will say Jason, like Jason Derulo, and I've always found it interesting which Jason they refer to, whether it's Jason Statham, Jason the Friday the 13th one, Jason Derulo. Every now and then I'll get an obscure Jason that I didn't know about, and I'm like, oh. But I think by this point I've reached. It's either Jason Statham, Friday the 13th Jason, or Jason Derulo. So I'm kind of waiting for some new Jasons to enter the mix.
I think of the Red Power Ranger a little bit.
Good
That was
deep cut.
Jason.
Great.
I think you're right. There was definitely a Power Ranger. I'm not sure for which
I
one.
feel bad that
I think you're right. It was the red.
Mm.
What's the Red Power Rangers like thing?
He was like the leader of the
He's
group.
red.
There you go. Yeah, Jason
thing.
is a Greek name. It means healer in Greek,
Ah.
or it's
Mm.
derived from ieso, which means heal, to heal.
Mm.
So, but I think
Jason, like
yeah,
Jason the Argonaut.
there you go.
Mm. Folks, I have to be up early, and I must be going.
Uh,
I have laundry to do, so I will.
today.
I'll be here a little.
So
is there
Right.
anything that you would like to promote before you jump out of the treehouse?
I want to promote Hot. I happen to know what you're gonna plug at the end of the show, so just tag my tacit endorsement onto your plug,
Okay, sounds good.
and that's
I'm
it.
excited about this plug. What's
Yeah.
happening?
Sneak preview ish.
Yeah.
Hyping it up.
and we'll I'll add the caveat that this is neither Hot nor mine or I are associated with this at all. So we're just endorsing someone else's.
The latest Khaled album, perhaps.
Like eating ass?
Yeah. This is a DJ. Yeah, I'd like to not plug DJ Khaled, but I want to plug. I want to plug Jason, who is a fox, for coming on the show, and thank him for being here.
Oh, thanks.
So it was great to see you, my friends, and appreciate you being here. So love you, buddy.
Love you too, man. Have a good evening.
Thank you, and I love all of the other fine folks on the stream right now. Even the one person who's watching, I love you.
Especially.
Is it Potato Lady that's watching?
I don't think
Might be Potato Lady.
I don't think Potato Lady's watching. We haven't gotten any potato-related comments.
Mm.
I found a thing on The Simpsons about potatoes that I sent Potato Lady.
I just think they're neat.
I just think they're neat.
All right.
If
Goodbye,
we have
all.
time, I'd like to share a photo this week that I think Potato Lady would appreciate. If I gotta figure out how to share my screen.
I know that you don't have a lot of time left, Jason, who is a fox. But I was wondering, we dug into this treehouse thing pretty well. I was wondering if you wanted to do a little a song before you left. We have a little bit of a tradition that occasionally with new friends we play a little song so we can get to know you a little bit better.
Sure.
Yeah. Amy, do you want to do your picture, or do you want to do the song before?
You can do the picture, or you can do the song first, because it's taking me a second to find the picture. It's on my external hard drive in the other room.
All
right. Well, I feel like ready whenever.
Right. I'm just trying to think of the best way to incorporate my name into this song. This is Hot the Cat singing. What is your favorite band, movie, or kitchen appliance? Tell us your... Okay, I'm screwing this up. Hold on. What is your favorite band? Movie or kitchen appliance? Tell us your story through an old pair of pants. I want to know you through your history of cars. Show us your trash. Show who you are. You don't have to paint it. You could use your bookshelf. I just want you to give us self-portrait. All right, so we go through this song question by question, line kind of line by line to get to know you a little bit better. So the first part here is, what is your favorite band, movie, or kitchen appliance? You can only choose one.
I feel like a lot of them are out of date when it comes to band or movie, so I'm definitely going to go with kitchen appliance. I think the wok, is that an appliance?
I think I don't know if I would count wok as an appliance, because I feel like electricity has to be, or like.
Well, you could have a gas stove or put it over a fire.
You let me use cups on mine, measuring cups on mine.
I have to think about it a little more if the wok isn't an option.
I do appreciate the wok. I think that is a great answer.
Okay. That's the one I use the most. I feel like most of my kitchen stuff is pretty basic. My new place, this place has a garbage disposal, so that's kind of cool. I haven't had one of those in a long time. So
oh my God, the noise.
I tell everyone about it. Yeah. Like, can you believe it?
Is this your first?
I think so.
Yeah, I've never had one anywhere I've lived.
It's got the little switch on the wall. You got to make sure the water's running, and
once you have it, you can't go back. Like I went from having one to not having one, and now I have to have a separate compost bin and stuff. It's
because it does, I think, shred the food and stuff into the.
I will say my experience of them has been convenience. I mean, it makes.
Does that count as an appliance? It's kind
of in the summer. Your garbage isn't as stinky.
Yeah, I think so too. I think between wok, garbage disposal, you've covered. You've let us know a little bit about yourself through that.
Good.
For sure.
I love that you said that you tell everyone about it too.
I do, because I feel like everyone can relate to having a garbage disposal as being a good thing.
I'm like that with a bidet. You gotta get a bidet.
This place, so interestingly, it's a 1-bedroom. You have to go into the bedroom to get to the bathroom, which is here, which I found interesting. But it does not have a bidet. So I haven't told anyone about my bidet because there is no one.
Yeah, that's a good reason to not tell people about it. You have to go through my room to get to the bathroom. Also,
I've been thinking of setting up like a divider so that, I could still sleep and have a little privacy. But my guests, if I had like someone crashing on the couch, I'm hoping to host Ryan someday.
Perhaps, right.
Perhaps.
Very much. It looks like you could hang a curtain like the length of the doorway.
This door here, here, that comes, that's the living room, closet, bathroom. So, you can just corridor it, I think.
Yeah. I think that's probably true.
We'll get there. Maybe one day I'll show you guys.
You're in Boston?
Yeah, Malden specifically.
Boston.
Yeah, Boston. Park your car.
So okay, I went to Boston last year, and somebody was trying to explain to me where the parking garage was.
Yeah, no, they really do talk like that.
But I looked at him and I just said, "I am so sorry, sir. I have no idea what you just said." And then he said, "Parking the garage," and I was like, "What?" And then I realized that he had to like motion it for me to understand. And
wow. He wasn't messing with you though. He was.
And then he did like a white lady impersonation, so that he could explain. Like he did like a Valley Girl accent, so that I could understand him.
Did it help?
It helped.
What is a Boston Valley girl accent?
No, it was like
Sound like?
he basically did an impression. I know I have a bad Chicago accent, but like, he was like, "You need to move your car," and then but in a Boston is a Boston accent trying to do that. It was great. It really helped.
Wow.
I really hope that sometime we could get someone with a Boston accent on this show that can, in their Boston accent, try a Valley Girl accent.
I think
I'll
doing
call
an
I'll
accent
call the guy
show
at the
would be
hotel
worthwhile.
and see if
Where
he
like every few minutes we change accents,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody has to have an accent.
I recently
That's an
listened to a podcast where, for no particular reason, one of the episodes, they're New Zealanders. For no good reason, they just talked like people from the American South for the entire episode of their podcast.
How did you like it? Did they do a good job?
It was so enjoyable. They really hit like a lot of the silly mannerisms, but also so many things that they did not know correctly because they're from New Zealand.
But I do feel like the British, for example, have very good American accents.
I just found out that Salem, Oregon, is the place where people have the least accent, English speaking wise, in the country.
That's what people say about
They
the
just
Midwest.
have no accent.
Yeah, I thought it was in the Midwest.
People say the Midwest is like that too.
I'd imagine it would be like Omaha or something, but I don't know. I don't know how this is
I
a
like
fact
the
that I heard in
Michigan
the
accent. It's
conversation.
one of my
So
favorites.
I don't know. When I used to work as a telemarketer, I used to like I used to do funny voices and accents like, all the time, and then I would get like stuck in them, and then I would have to say something like emphysema like in that accent, and it was like I was stuck in well, the guy who sat next to me used to do he did he's from the south side of Chicago, so he did a really good Barack Obama voice, and he was stuck doing the voice like for the whole interview, and it was amazing. I was like, I couldn't stop laughing though, and I had to hang up like a call that I had to leave it. Like I was laughing on the person's voicemail. I felt terrible.
How would somebody say emphysema in Boston?
I think they would drag out the emphysema. I don't know why.
Oh,
because this is the thing.
I got emphysema from my cousins. They were
I'm
smokers.
so sorry. You can continue your song.
No,
you're laughing about diseases that are chronic.
Oh yeah. Where were we? Tell us your story through an old pair of pants. So, do you have like an old pair of pants that could tell us something about you? I know that you're doing some laundry right now. Like, you got a pair of pants around that kind of gives some sense of who you are.
Me or Garbanzo?
You. This is. We've gone through Garbanzo before, I believe.
Yeah, and I think I already
told we haven't, but I've just been here forever.
Okay, we'll do it again. We'll do it sometime. I thought maybe we did.
The pair of pants I'm wearing, we've got this coffee stain from today.
Great.
That was a bit of, coffee stains are okay because they're water soluble, but they still, I don't know. There's not really many stories in my pants. One story. I like to have the carabiner of keys.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
I don't know. That's the only story. I mean, I was at my aunt's recently, and what is the hand? Does that mean you also have a carabiner?
No. There's a stereotype about carabiners.
Oh, please tell me. Is it in Chicago? Is it a Logan Square Chicago thing? Because I feel like I see a lot. I was recently informed by my old roommate that there's a thing called the bisexual carabiner. Wow, I do identify as pan.
Ha ha!
So
I also use a carabiner. I don't think that I think it's one of those square circle things. It's like if you have a carabiner, it doesn't mean that you're bisexual. But if you're bisexual, you have to have a carabiner.
Wow.
I don't like that I have to do anything.
But yet you do.
Yeah,
You already
you were
have one. That
right.
is true.
Totally
How,
right.
how would a Bostonian say carabiner? Got my
I
carabiner.
had to pop.
Hold on. This is really rough.
If I need to park my car around the corner, then
No, this is like
My
Italian.
keys on my carabiner. I like how they have a very thick gravelly.
Car-
Carabiner.
But it
Like
is true.
carabiner.
Like,
No, I can't. I don't know if I can do
The,
it.
the cara part is a little. That's hard to get.
Carabiner.
they
Carabiner.
do call
No.
it bean toast.
Carabiner. Definitely getting outside of Boston there.
Yeah,
All right.
I've never.
Go to
I
Oregon.
spent one day in Boston. I don't know.
I'm gonna mute myself.
I'm enjoying the I'm sorry I didn't have a pair of pants story, but I think
No,
the
no.
carabiner-
Almost none. No one does.
I thought of the
For some
Sisterhood
reason-
of the Traveling Pants a little bit when you said
For
that.
some reason, we tried that one. I wrote that line, but almost no one has a story from their pair of pants.
I'm surprised
I
about
have a
that.
pants story.
I wish I did.
Some people do, yeah. Some people, but I would say the majority do not.
What's the other
That's
option in the
really
song? I
fun.
can't remember.
That one is just tell us your story.
There's no option.
Oh,
That one, there is no option. The next one does have an option. You can. I want to know you through your history of cars, or show us your trash. Show who you are.
Oh man.
So yeah, you have the option here of you can tell us about your history of cars, or you can show us your trash to show who. You are.
Unless you
Trash.
staged your trash
All
just
I've got
for
was
me,
this.
'cause you knew it was
Then
coming.
so let's go with cars. 'Cause I'm
Okay,
lacking on trash. My dad had. I've never owned a car, but I've driven my dad's Prius. It's a 2001 Prius. Did you know the
Okay.
Prius I think was invented in 1999?
What
How
what
many
color?
miles?
What color are
What's
we talking here?
It's a sky blue, pretty stereotypical, and it's no longer with us. Unfortunately, we let the Prius go a few years ago because you had to jump start it every time you to drive it.
Wow, this was a early Prius.
Yeah.
Did you have
he
one
was
of
an
the
early
little
adopter.
battery jumper things?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was at a drive-in movie with someone I was dating, and we got stuck at the drive-in. And I told my dad, "Look, Dad, I know you want us to keep this Prius alive." Yeah, it didn't look like that. Maybe it was a 2003 Prius,
Okay, let's check it out.
but it was early. Yeah, no, I feel like that doesn't look like a Prius to me.
that looks like my car
I
now.
know, like the design is
No, so look in the far right, second column. That's it.
this one.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm glad we found it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we were in this Prius.
Now that
and
we've
we were
got
stuck
that
at a drive-in, and my dad's like, "I don't understand why you want me to donate this car," and I'm like, "Because I was on a date, and we couldn't leave the movie until we jumped the car, and it was weird, and he didn't understand." So, but we did. I eventually convinced him that I'm like, "Well, then you can have it back." And he's like, "Well, I don't want it back," and I'm like, "Well, then maybe we should get rid of it."
Now, so
So that was my car story.
did you drive any cars after that? Did you have any cars after that?
No, but I have dreams of a car. I think I'd like to get like a small European kind of car, like a Mini Cooper. Like I know a lot of people think they look dumb, but I kind of like them.
I'm just here to note that the Mini Cooper. Oh wait, sorry, I'm thinking of a different car.
Or the PT Cruiser is also another one that I like.
Okay, don't get it. Mini Cooper, okay. PT Cruiser used to have one of the most dangerous vehicles. If you get
Noted.
if you get T-boned, you're just dead on impact.
I love the wood
There-
paneling.
I had the second one, the purple one.
You can glue wood paneling to any car.
There is a I can't remember
Good to
which
know.
company. Maybe it was Ford made a PT Cruiser knockoff that is significantly better. I've heard stories about this.
What
Like
was that called again?
Oh my god, the flame
HHR.
one.
I think it was an HHR.
Is it too much to get the flames and the wood paneling?
You got to get both.
No, that's not too much.
it looks like your car is the wood paneling's on fire.
It says the worst car of all time next to the wood paneling, which is a high bar or a low bar.
Iowa State.
It is
really?
very unsafe. I was in a
Okay.
car accident in one of those.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm okay. We got hit from behind, but if we were hit from the
It sounds
side,
like that left you a very negative impression of the PT.
My
cruiser.
girlfriend
it
in
was
high
just
school
in
had
general a
one.
shitty car. It also like if you wanted to sit in the back seat, your knees were like where your chin is at.
All right, so no PT Cruiser, no Mini Cooper.
I don't know about the Mini Cooper. I think that one's okay.
Okay, they
You're
look
solid
cute
in
to
Mini
me, and there's something about that I like. I like the idea of it. I don't know if I would like actually doing it.
And have you seen the movie The Italian Job?
Yes.
Another reason to get a Mini Cooper.
You can
Converted
drive
driving? I
through
can't remember.
wherever in Europe.
I just think of that cool scene where they go under the tunnel into like the boat canal or something. That's
So
all I remember of the
cool.
intro
And
heist.
then when it like drops down.
Yeah, that was so freaking cool.
If you haven't seen the movie The Italian Job, I recommend it. Viewer.
And a very long time. Oh, here we go.
Is a Mini Cooper an Italian car?
No, I think it's British.
That sounds right.
I'd like to just point out this image here with the lashes on this car with the pink stripes.
I
Also,
think my dad's Prius would have liked to flirt with that car.
the
Think-
look at the vanity plate there.
Oh, Pity in Pink.
Pity and pink.
That would have been a different movie.
Pity and
So that was a future car. We've never gotten a future car on this.
Maybe it'll be electric.
Before.
Yeah, there's some cool electric
Well,
trucks.
How
now.
do you generally get around?
They call it the T here in Boston. It's the MBTA or the subway. I'm on the orange line here.
I've been on it.
There we go.
It exists.
So I work in public transit and it confused me switching from the orange to the red line, but I figured it out. It was just I did have to call my cousin because she lives in Somerville and I stayed I can't remember exactly where. It was near MIT.
Cambridge.
No. It's like it was near Cambridge, but I'll have to look it up.
Maybe it was one of the squares.
Yeah.
Like
I'll look it
Kendall
up.
Squares, MIT.
Yeah, I was in Kendall Square.
Okay, that is Cambridge.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was wrong. Thank you.
Oh, you're good. There's many squares. Cambridge is across the Charles north of Boston. Somerville is one town up, and I'm in Malden across the Mystic River from Somerville, which sounds really cool.
Are you from there originally?
DC area originally.
DC.
Ooh.
How do you know hot and everything?
Huh?
How do you know hot?
Oh, through Ryan, I met him at his cafe.
Oh.
I was a regular there during my Logan Square days, and we started talking, I guess, about music and jammed out a few times, and then he told me about he has a Twitch show that he's on, and somehow he became a guest.
I can't imagine Ryan speaking to people. I imagine him speaking to people at work, and whenever I think of him, I don't know. It's
He's
just
pretty gregarious, actually, as a barista, because his job is to make you feel good when you talk to him. So
yeah.
I only know him in this context.
Wait, Ryan. You only know Ryan as a barista, or
No, as being
As
on
a-
the hot show.
Oh, okay.
That's the only.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just Ryan has like visited me at many a job, and like I used to work at a restaurant and like serve people, and like whenever people would come in, like I'd be like, "Hi, bye." Like, like if you actually want to spend time with me, don't visit me at work because I am like whatever job I have, I'm like very dedicated to.
Yeah.
Except for that telemarketing job. It will, and like I don't know. It's just I'm imagining Ryan at work, and I don't know, it interests me to see that side of him.
Yeah, he's really nice at work, and you don't really get like the sarcastic Ryan. You just get the really nice Ryan, and then I learned the sarcastic Ryan.
Yeah, I've never experienced non-sarcastic Ryan, so maybe that's why I'm so curious about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of the same Ryan. You just don't realize there's another layer.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
I don't
He
think
makes
I
a pretty
have.
good latte. So
I don't think I have the ability to like not like be the dorky version that I am, like even in a professional environment. Like I'm still a dork.
I feel that. I think I've gotten like more dorky and less professional as I've gotten older.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been at your job?
What's that?
How long have you been at your job?
I just was telling them I moved to Boston, so I started working at Northeastern, one of the universities out here, and about a month.
Okay.
And I'm like, I went to this school too, so I'm like the student who went to Chicago for 3 years after graduating and came back, sort of thing. But we're all so it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Are you the only designer in your work?
Oh, I guess I should. So I work at a student center for entrepreneurial engineering. So some of the students are working on their own ventures, if you will. I try to so I run a freelance business, and the business is to help people invent things.
I need your help. I have some ideas.
I love it, and I offer free consultations, and I mean that seriously, but I also mean it not seriously, because people will do this where they'll just pitch me stuff. So you're welcome to do, but on a
I have
whenever and when.
an idea for helping breathing, like basically something that like a circle that compresses and expands, like an open-ended circle that you would put in your nostrils, so you wouldn't see it during the day, but it opens your nostrils up.
Oh, I have a deviated septum. You got my money.
Yeah, me too.
I just need to figure out how to make it.
Hello.
Because I use something to sleep that like kind of pulls them apart, but it makes it look like you have like a nose ring or something.
Yeah, you would have
but
to.
I kind of want to make it invisible so I could just use it all day, because I breathe so much better when I'm sleeping because of that.
You should get your there's a surgery that you can get done that
I don't want to get a surgery.
It's honestly like, so like I've been like trying to save up for it because I have a real issue breathing, and they essentially, those things are called, there's these things inside your nose called terpenoids, and they get inflamed when you're breathing, I think. I don't know. Essentially they can just make that hole bigger so that you can breathe. And that's been on my list. That might, you guys have a medical to-do list, like things that
I do.
Yeah.
I think getting my back checked out.
Need a colonoscopy. Got to get my liver enzymes checked.
I need to go to the dermatologist to get all my moles checked.
+1.
Did you say +1?
I did.
Oh my
God. Make my colonoscopy an episode. You could just
no. So my
what the legality of that?
A kid used to, if you said
I'll sign the HIPAA thing.
Funny, his like him and his older brother would say, like they wouldn't laugh, they would just go +1. And it was so
that's creepy.
It was like, no, it was like the best feeling, because or like sometimes they would laugh, but like it would be like a very quiet laugh, and then they would just say +1, and it was only +1, or like if you said something really like really terrible, but it was like a really bad pun, but it was like a good pun, it would be like -1.
You can get a minus.
But it was only ever 1. It was never like +2 or anything like that. And it just,
even if it was really funny,
it was like, I don't know, it felt really rewarding to get the +1.
I
like,
wouldn't get -1 though. What, especially if there was like a tally that was like keeping track, like the in Hogwarts, you know?
I'm not sure.
If you found notebooks and notebooks filled with the transactions,
spelling marks scratched out.
A leaderboard.
In my treehouse, there's no keeping score of the funny is. Actually, well, I think I told you guys this at one point. So I snort when I laugh, and my coworkers had a there were always these little check marks next to people's names, and I was always wondering like why I didn't have any but everybody else did. And they used to keep track of who made me snort. Like they got a point for every time they made me snort. And I was always like thinking like I didn't like why do I not have any check marks? Does my boss not like me or something?
Oh.
And yeah, so they were just keeping track of who made me laugh.
Oh, I wish they had let you in on that.
They told me eventually, but I just felt like it was, I don't know, I liked it. And plus it always was nice because people were trying to make me laugh at work.
That is nice. Was this
Yeah,
the
at least it
telemarketing
wasn't
job
like
as well?
farting, like
Huh?
Was this also
tracking
the
your farts.
telemarketing?
That would have been a different story.
True. But I feel like if they can hear you, I'm thinking of the Zoom era. If they can hear you fart over Zoom, like that's a big fart. That is +1able, I think. But
To have an audible fart over Zoom, yeah, it's got to be
video.
pretty loud.
Yeah.
I wonder how, if any, like that hasn't gone viral yet, you know? Like I love that one of that guy who gets up, like we should have a show where I just share wholesome videos. Or that we might run into some like copyright errors.
Yeah.
Do that.
Like, if it's personal ones, like where it's just regular people, but if it's like monetized in any way, people might stop us.
Well, there's this guy who like he got up on a video call because he was wearing underwear underneath his suit. And like
just underwear?
No, sorry, not underwear. He was wearing basketball shorts or something, and he gets up and
Like
then
as his
like to go
bottom?
to go talk to his kid that like was being loud, so he needed to close the door. And then there's like another guy on the call, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, Josiah," and then like walks up and you see that he is also wearing shorts. Like I don't know, it was so wholesome because it was just like, wow, like
That's like a I am Spartacus to me.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
We're all in our underwear.
I think I'd feel better if that was me in that
Yeah.
situation. I just
Maybe
was
in the
reminded
last day
of
class this semester, I'll try to get everybody to stand up.
yes.
See what's going on.
See who won't stand up too, you know.
Those are the fully nude ones.
Yeah. Which is bold, because what if you had to stand? I mean, I guess no one can force you to stand up in that situation.
Eminem can.
Oh, what? I'm sorry, I missed
Where
that.
is Ryan when I need him?
Mm.
Will the real Slim Shady please?
But that's really
But
that's only if they're the real Slim.
Yeah, they have to be the real Slim Shady.
Right.
Not very many people are going to be standing up in there.
Mm-mm.
It's one guy.
I had a client come in for a free consultation before I like moved to the full-time stuff. He wanted to build a sandwich making machine, and to me this was like a dream. When I think of the invention business, I think of stuff like this, but he was dead serious. It was a really noble thing. He wanted it to be for like people who were hungry, but he also wanted to monetize it. So it wasn't a free sandwich machine. It was like a $2 sandwich machine. So we were having a serious conversation about what kind of sandwich you could get. And he's like, well, I'd really like it to do like salami, cold cuts. I'm like, okay. And also grilled cheese. And I'm just like, well, I don't know. I don't know. I just thought you guys would enjoy this because this was a real call. For all I know, he's making the machine right now. I didn't choose to pursue this.
He's going to put so many sandwich makers out of business.
Yeah.
That's so tricky.
Like it's an artisan thing because I remember when I worked at a pita place, I was called a sandwich artist. You know?
That's an honor.
I love sandwiches, so I do believe in sandwich artistry, but I don't believe in the low pay and demoralizing. I feel like that usually when people are called sandwich artists, it means that they're just they're not getting paid enough, is what I think. Because I feel like people give fancy titles like sanitation engineer in lieu of janitor when they just want to make people feel good without giving them the benefits that title usually conveys. It's a form of, I don't know, because I do believe sandwich artists can be a thing. And I think
that at the beginning of the pandemic, when they were calling people who worked at grocery stores heroes, it's like, you shit on me all the time, but now I'm a hero? Oh, no.
Yeah.
That means I'm expendable.
We need to appreciate our food service workers all the time. And but did you enjoy being a sandwich artist?
Yeah, I don't know. I liked talking to people, and I think that you get into sandwich psychology too. That's why it's like there's a lot that goes into like what makes a person like how you might order a sandwich, whether you're assertive enough to say like, "Hey, I would actually like some extra pickles," or like, I don't know, what made somebody decide to put Kalamata olives on a grill.
Okay, yeah, I made sandwiches for 2 jobs separately. I was not called an artist at either of them, but I really like aioli on a sandwich. And I learned that from one of the jobs. I learned that about myself because we had a sandwich with aioli on it. And now I really like that. So
Aioli's good.
Have any of you read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and the sequels to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
By Douglas something.
Douglas Adams. That the main character, Arthur Dent, is the first. This whole story is him being kind of an average person who is thrust into the intergalactic world, the rest of the universe, or the galaxy, but in one of the later books, he finds his true calling as a sandwich artist on a different planet where they did not have sandwiches before, and he introduces the sandwich, and
that's big.
Yeah, I know, right? And becomes like the sandwich maker, like the sandwich artist of that planet.
Wow.
What were they doing before sandwiches?
Sad. Do you guys believe that story about the Earl?
Tacos, everything.
The Earl of Sandwich?
Yeah.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I have heard about the Earl of Sandwich.
What about the Earl of Sandwich?
I was just wondering if that's a real origin story. And also, I want to echo Amy's question as well, which is a good one. I wonder what our good friend the Earl would think about that as well.
What origin story is this?
The story of the sandwich. There's like, I don't know, the Earl of Sandwich was the guy who invented it, I think.
No. So I recently saw something about...
You are so confident on that.
Yeah.
That was scary.
Because I recently heard that they found like some evidence of like early people, like very like thousands and thousands of years old sandwich. They found like evidence of bread with something inside. Like it's the oldest sandwich ever.
I always thought it was a bit weird that like it just happened overnight, kind of a thing. Like there's so many things that have to go into it.
Well, sliced bread isn't actually that old. I'm gonna look this up because I recently learned sliced bread.
Collective unconscious. It probably happened all over the world at the same time. Like, what if we put protein in between carbohydrate?
Yeah, or maybe the first sandwiches were not. Yeah,
sliced bread was technically okay. Otto Frederick Rudd. Oh wow, this is a difficult name. It's Rohwedder. Otto Frederick Rohwedder. I tried. Of Davenport, Iowa, from the United States, invented the first single loaf of bread slicing machine. A prototype he built in 1912 was destroyed in a fire, and it was not until 1928 that Rohwedder had a fully working machine. So only 1928 with sliced bread. So sandwiches, sliced bread. There you go. I'm sure that people also like hand sliced their bread.
Yeah, slicing bread is not that hard.
Also, if you have any sort of bread, like flatbread. Flatbread's been around for a long time.
I like you can make it with just flour and water bowl.
Right.
I learned
You take
how to
two
make,
pieces of flatbread and you put something in between it. Right? What was that?
I have the hiccups.
Okay. So I looked up. I couldn't find what I had read about, but apparently the world, like one of the earliest known sandwiches, is the rougeaumont, which is from China, from the Zhou dynasty, which ruled ancient China from 1046 BC.
what kind of sandwich was it?
The name translates to meat sandwich.
Okay.
I wonder when the grilled cheese was invented.
Apparently, this says the meat is most commonly pork, but it is considered the Chinese equivalent of a hamburger.
It looks kind of similar to a banh mi, the more that I'm looking at it, and it just looks so delicious.
There's such a good banh mi place that's been taken off here. It's like $6. You get a banh mi like that big. It's great. They have breakfast sandwiches, pork. Oh,
There's a banh mi place right across from my work, and whenever like my boss is like mentions getting food, I'm always like, Lotus banh mi. There's a place that I always like to go to, and I feel like they just have a really good tofu banh mi, and I'm vegetarian, so the sandwich world for vegetarians is it's a different game.
Yeah, it is. I've recently learned about the tomato bisque pairing with the grilled cheese, because I didn't like tomato soup growing up for whatever reason, but now as an adult I love tomato soup.
I almost had that for dinner today.
one of the best pairings. You can dunk it.
I'm a dunk. I dunk my grilled cheese. Yeah.
I took you for a dunker.
I don't trust anyone who doesn't, I take my business partners out to grilled cheese and biscuits just to see what they do with it. Well, I reached the end of my laundry. I did find someone else's sock. Like there's a it's a apartment building and there's like a mutually shared laundry room. So I don't know what the etiquette is when you find a sock, but I don't know. Maybe I'll put it.
Maybe you should write a little love letter, and then maybe you'll meet your Cinderella or Cinderella. I don't know.
I think you should attach some eyes to it and make a sock puppet.
I like that. I don't know, Amy, where to go with that one, but I like the sock puppet.
Sock puppet's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think you should just put it back in your laundry room. And
yeah, I probably will. That probably will be what I do if it even gets back.
Your sock.
I would put eyes on it and then put it back in the laundry room.
Yes.
Not the cat.
You might make somebody's day.
Goodbye, friends. It was nice to share this moment with you.
It was good to meet you.
Thanks so much for being here, Jason, who is a fox. It's been a real pleasure. You are, of course, welcome back anytime. Is there anything that you'd like to promote out in the world or things that you do?
It doesn't exist yet, but Ryan helped me write the music to a podcast intro. I don't know what the podcast will be about yet, but I want to start something. And I'd like it to be a fun thing like this a little bit, where it's sort of inventive. Do you have any advice on like how do you figured out you wanted to make the hot show? Like, how do you get to that point? Well, you want to make something. What you kind of want it to feel like, but what do you do?
In my experience of doing this, the idea was just that I wanted to do a show, and I just started doing something.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know that I am someone who is very willing to go into like things having no idea of whether or not they will work, or I'm fine like it not being good for a while.
We had some really weird episodes in the beginning.
We still do.
This is nice. You've got a situation. You just had to send me a link.
Yeah, no, and I mean that took a while to like get going and everything.
Okay.
Like that's taken some time to make happen, but it came from doing it rather than
that's really good advice.
like that has literally been this entire thing is just like, okay, do it. Like I can't like I write these little songs every week, and I did that because I thought, oh, that'd be a fun idea. Like every week to write a song, you can't think about it that much. You just go first idea, best idea, kind of like you just say like.
I kind of had this idea that the first podcast episode could be about naming the podcast, and that's really all I've got so far.
It's perfect.
I just want to have like.
What was our first one?
Our first one, the very first one was just me writing some song, like playing some songs, and then partway through, you called me, and I believe you were intoxicated.
Oh. I don't know. That's a lost episode of.
It's a lost episode. Yeah.
It's and not on the YouTube channel.
I remember the cut your own hair one was one of the early. I think that was our like third one.
Let me see.
Cut Your Own Hair was one of my favorites.
That one was actually a little bit further on.
It sounds like if you can have fun in your own show, that's a good place to start.
Yeah, I mean that's the
whole thing. If this isn't fun, like there's no point in doing it. Like like this is the entire idea of this is that it's a nice environment for all of us to get together and like be able to be expressive in fun ways and like enjoy ourselves, because there's so much out there that it's like, I don't know, really awful in the world and stuff, and this is like a place to just kind of be nice and to not have any real expectations or like real like, if I'm stressing about this, it's my own fault. Like
sorry.
No, I had fun. This was really nice. And I remember when I came back from laundry, I was like, oh, I can't wait to get back in my room and talk to these people.
So much laundry folding is done on this show.
We had an episode where I let Hot know that I was really struggling with like forcing myself to do stuff around my house because I have ADHD, and it's difficult for me to do that sometimes and get myself in the mood to hold things and do things. And there's a song called "Don't Put It Off."
Yeah, don't put it off. No need to make excuses. I'll call your bluff. You can just sit down and do it. Goes like that.
We haven't heard the "Don't Put It Off" song in a hot minute.
I want the whole album. You probably have enough by now.
Once I think I'm gonna try to record at least a few of them over my spring break, because I there's coming to a point. I think I counted them up. I have like 24 songs now.
Oh wow!
I would love to make a cover for you.
If you need
starting to forget.
People, if you need little background voices or anything too, I know I always like to join in on some of them.
Yeah.
Or goofy noises or Gulliver sounds.
Oh, I will endorse that idea and say farewell as 11:30 here on the Eastern Coast.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here. It's been such a pleasure to have you. I love how you've been thinking about the future, and thanks so much. Have a great night.
Thanks for having me. Nice to meet you, Amy, Garbanzo, and Hot.
Sweet dreams in your dream treehouse.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Good.
I like the way that cut out. Goodbye.
Yeah. That was a great exit.
No, it was the way that you said no earlier. Just like I could not handle it. It was just so affirmative.
No, I mean,
I'm laughing about it now, just thinking about it.
No.
no, there's no way that, like, I feel like that's like English propaganda or something. Like, that the English created the sandwich. Like, what a ridiculous idea.
But it was the way that you said no, and then I like thought that was funny, but didn't think it was appropriate to laugh, and I just went like this. But then Garbanzo was like also was like, that's hilarious.
If you try to hold laughter in, it just like I learned that from in church as a kid. Like my brother and I would just whisper horrible things into each other's ears and try not to laugh.
Oh man, my can I share a fart story? Is that okay?
What is the hot show for?
So I love that, like, well, I think you guys know that I haven't been a guest or like a member on the hot show for a couple episodes because I was dealing with some grief, and I don't know, so I recently lost my my sister's fiance, like, so my like future brother-in-law, and I don't know, he was a great person, but people came up and they all told these like really funny like stories, and I think it's like so important to like share those moments of like funny stories and stuff. So this is one that I always think of with my grandpa, because so my grandma or my grandpa's family, like, he's like, his dad was super super strict, and my grandpa, when he met my grandma's family, like, they were pretty strict, and he had been out drinking and had beer farts, like, on the Saturday night, like, before going to church with my grandma's family. And
I've
then,
never
like,
heard of beer farts. What are they like?
if you drink, apparently I've never had beer farts either, but my grandma explained to me that, and this, like, she told me this story when I was a very small child, so I was like, oh, beer makes you toot. But I'm guessing that it's like, if you drink a lot of beer, then you have like really bad toots the next day. And apparently this is what was the circumstance of my grandfather. And he apparently, this was like one of his first times meeting like my grandma's parents, and he farted in church like really, really loud, and then yawned and pointed to his, like, my grandma's mom. Like, it was her. And I don't know why it's so funny to me, but like my grandma just like,
Because it's hilarious.
whenever she tells a story, it's like she can't like not laugh while telling it, because it's just like, I don't know. And you think about like how many, I don't know, how many goofy stories, like if I like, had an accident or something, I was like, there are gonna be so many embarrassing stories about me that people are gonna bring up, and I'm like, oh dear Lord, like, but I don't know. There's lots of toot stories in there or like another one that's was my grandpa was like, his dad was like super super strict, and they were all sitting at the dinner table, and his dad was picking his nose at the dinner table, and him as like a child, he like handed his dad a spoon, and he said, here, use a spoon, you'll get more. And like, his dad was pissed, but he still thinks it's like so funny, because I can't imagine like a really strict dad like saying that to him, and like, I don't know.
I also I gotta go. I'm sorry. I gotta wake up early for work, but it was so nice to see everyone.
Thanks so much for being here.
So much fun.
Should we
What
do
was the song you did today? Could I hear it before I go?
Yeah, you can hear the alternate version.
Thank you.
Because so I sang it earlier. It was the perfect treehouse. And actually, wait, before we do this, I think Amy does have to show a picture, or
Oh,
Do you have a picture? I can sing the song. I can sing the song, and then we can do it, and then I'll sing the outro song after that. But yeah, so I was practicing this song, and Erica thought that it had slightly different lyrics instead of the perfect treehouse. So
are you seeing me or my screen?
what?
Are you seeing my face or my screen?
We're still seeing your face.
Oh.
I'll bring that up in after I play this song.
Oh, okay.
Close your eyes, picture an oak tree, rope ladder, climbing the trunk, cedar boards, make a floor, the trapdoor lifts. Is this heaven? Just a fucking tree house. Hoist the bucket and raise the flag. Sunshine through the skylight. Secret backdoor zipline. Is this heaven? Just a fucking tree house.
I think it's much better with the fucking treehouse where perfect treehouse would have been.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fun. I wanted to play a version of it, so I'm glad you asked about it.
Oh, it was so tender. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was really different than a lot of the other ones.
Some of your songs get me teary. You know, it's they're like really sweet little songs that you do for these. They're great.
I really enjoy doing them. All right.
I wish I had more time to do more posters for it because that like kept me sane when I was going through a really tumultuous time in my life. And
well, we need them
I'll get back to it
for the rest of this
That is
month.
cool.
We really need them. So
What's the next episode?
we don't have a plan yet. I don't really have time to plan this one out. I'm really busy with finals, so it might be just kind of a free one. See what happens, sort of thing.
Let's just have Potato Lady on and talk only about potatoes.
It could just be a solo Potato Lady podcast where she discusses the different types of potato, how to prepare potatoes.
We could try to ask about that. I personally can't do much about that necessarily, but I like the idea of that. I can ask Potato
What
Lady.
date is next Thursday?
The 17th.
Okay, I could do that. I could be
Yeah,
really weird drawing last night that might work as a poster.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
I did consider doing an art episode. Oh, you can bring that back up, Amy.
Oh yeah, I want to see
I
this.
don't know how to. Okay, do I click share screen?
Yeah. It was there. I just didn't pull it up yet.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I saw that it was still on this.
Oh, okay. All right. This is the one that I wanted to share.
Potato.
What is that?
It's a potato. I don't know. It just brought me so much joy. Like,
Just out there in the cold all alone?
someone must have dropped it or purposely put it there. and it just like was like lit in this really gorgeous way that
Yeah,
made it feel so
it has
special.
it has a really nice aesthetic quality to the image, I will say.
A potato. Yeah.
Like, there's even depth to it. Like you can see that tree on the right is closer than the tree on the left.
Yeah.
Better.
Huh. I like that you thought that it was a tree.
Is it a phone pole?
It's
Do you have phone poles in Chicago, or are they underground?
Yeah, phone poles.
we have like phone poles, but this is actually so it's in the loop, like on the corner of Washington and Dearborn. So it's just like a pole for the lights. What am I thinking of?
A light
Yeah,
pole.
that makes sense. I mean, I did notice how very straight it was.
Yeah.
It
I-
must be very cold there in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean it's snowing tonight. Um I'm hoping this is one of the last snows. I work outside and it's cold.
I will say that I do regret a little bit that we didn't take the opportunity of winter to do the cold show. Uh, I think that would have been really nice.
I'm trying to see. I thought I might have included. There was another one in here that I had that was just the frozen. Oh, it was from another week. Just a frozen. Um, like the area on the side. I'll have to find the different picture, but it's like the area that's on the side of the CTA was just completely frozen and iced over. That like you like couldn't see out of the station.
Whenever I hear CTA, I hear in my head Jeff Tweedy singing it. Sunrise CTA.
Yay.
Can you send me whatever song that is? I'd love to add that to my playlist of rail
Yeah,
themed songs.
Yeah, which album was that on?
I want to say being there.
Yeah, I think it was Being There.
I will forget if you do not send it to me or text it to me.
Okay.
What song is that?
Sitting right on the CTA.
I think it's Kid.
Red Eyed and Blue.
Red.
I think it's in that one.
This is a picture of the back of the brown line. I normally don't like using black and white photos because I feel like it's like corny, but I just liked how this one looked because it
That's nice.
like it makes the lines. I'm trying to decide between. I think I like this one better.
I like the color of the blue with the orange.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that does look nice.
Oh, these are different. Yeah, these are different trains.
Yeah.
But
Okay, well, I've got to go, folks.
All right. Should we?
It's so nice seeing all of you and having.
Are you jumping out before I sing the song? Do you want to promote anything before you get out of here?
My friend gave me a gift today. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I'd promote it because they steal a lot of Native American designs at this company. But
Amy, do you have anything you'd like to promote?
just got this canteen
not waiting.
from Pendleton. It's a pretty good canteen.
It looks like a good canteen.
It's wool. I really like the design on it. Yeah. I haven't drank out of it yet.
Oh, well, let us know if it tastes like metal when you drink out of it.
I think it's plastic lined,
Huh.
which I'm a little worried about, but it'll be good for camping. I don't know. Otter, you handsome boy.
You know what I want to promote? Getting promoted. I want to get promoted. If the boss ever sees this, I want a promotion. That's all.
You're getting a raise.
Please give Amy from the chat a promotion. Amy's boss. And even if this is way in the future and you are a totally different boss,
Yeah.
Next, if you are Amy's boss, give them a promotion. I'm going to promote
I'm raised.
the Dead Eyes podcast. Connor Ratliff was fired from the Band of Brothers in 2001 as an actor, reportedly because Tom Hanks said that he had dead eyes. It's a great podcast, and the third season just ended today with a conversation with Tom Hanks.
Tom Tang.
What a reaction!
I'm sorry. I'm loopy. I'm tired. I was just imagining his name being Tom Hanks, and it made me happy.
The way that it just came out of your soul. You didn't even like say it. I don't think your mouth even moved. It just spouted out of you.
So thank y'all for coming down. That was the high. So thank y'all for sticking around. I hope you had some fun. Now the show's done. Go on, get out of here. Thanks, anyone who ever sees this. Good night.
You know, an issue. I tried to watch this on Twitch before I joined in today, and I couldn't find it. I typed in the hot show, hot the cat. Nothing came up.
You couldn't get on the Twitch?
It's Hot the Cat, no spaces.
Just type,
Yeah, I had to put it in the thing like twitch.com/hot the cat.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it otherwise.
But like when I went onto the site and searched hot the cat, it doesn't come up. Is there a way you could get it to come up?
Beats me.
It would probably increase it because people probably try to find it and they're like, I don't care enough to try to find it.
If they don't care enough, we don't need them.
You're not allowed in our treehouse.
No ass hats.
No asshat. Leave your asshat at the door.
Now I just want an ass hat to wear to work.
Man,
Oh,
talk about an invention.
I meant to bring this up earlier, but I used to have we had a party at my apartment when I was in college, and I planned like this whole party. I was there for 10 minutes. It was the no pants party, and there was a sign that said "Leave your pants and worries at the door," and like everybody like showed up, and like everybody was in their underwear, and like people wore their fun underwear, or like some people wore skirts because they were like they're not pants, you know, like whatever. And it was like, and and the playlist was, I had everybody email me or like send me their song that they danced to in their underwear, like what song you would dance to in your underwear. And it was a really like good party that I left in the middle of because there was someone I didn't like at the party, so I just
Sounds like a fun party. I would go to that party.
Yeah. It was a very I'm 20 years old. I'm going to throw a party.
I don't know how many 33-year-old no pants parties there are.
Probably not a lot.
Or how to get invited to one. But I would go.
I'm sure there are a lot of like X-rated 30-plus-year-old parties that are like that are not as innocent as ours was. I just know that there was a couple that like got in a fight because the girlfriend started smoking again, and like I was like, I'm out of here. This
Fighting
is my party.
is a fun thing
like
in public.
Huh?
publicly fighting in your underwear. That's a thing that I don't think I've ever done.
I had to try to like get them to stop fighting, and I was just like, I'm done. Like I literally like, I'm not doing this. Like I'm just gonna go. There was a party across the street, and I was like, I'm gonna go to this party. And I met a couple of my like very close. I met I think the first time I met Ryan actually was at the party that was across the street. So I'm glad I left the party that I so delicately planned.
This is the longest we've ever gone past the ending song.
I thought you clicked end already.
I didn't, because we immediately started talking before I even got a chance. Okay, good night.